progress, get a little screen share going. We'll review everybody's status effects. I need to get my.
Just realized I was muted. My t-shirt's appropriate today.
The original one there?
Yankers. With it being the
Yeah.
four of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? Put you here. I need to turn up the music. That's a portion. Sorry, Spotify, get lost.
I see you and raise you a trinket.
Hey.
Nice.
And Carmen's not even looking.
There we go.
Excellent.
Good boy, Trinket.
Trinket. Ooh.
I picked this one out specifically because it's the closest thing I had.
Fair enough, fair enough. Look at all these spare pages I can waste on. Okay. So, welcome back, everybody, to Tal'Dorei Reborn. I'm going to just quickly roll someone new in the game. Oh, I know what I missed, but I'll deal with it in a second. My man is a crazy initiative. Anyone remember their initiative by chance?
No.
Or even ballpark it?
Something just north of
I do remember mine because it was good, which was weird. Mine was like 19 or some shit like that.
9. Everyone must have rolled fantastically then because you're second to last.
Okay, never mind. Then maybe that was at a different initiative. Maybe that was for a different encounter.
That's okay. I just gonna throw Vax in, Champion of Ravens, where I think it would be fitting. Because they rolled decently, but not on like Zarbalg levels. I'll put them after Finch. Or him after Finch. Okay. Sweet.
Saturday.
Look at Balthazar with the sweet initiative.
I know he did pretty decent. Oh, and I know what it was. I have my minis that I need to give. You can all see they're not here for the glory of it, but Radon's mini's ready to go finally. So I'll pop that in there really quick. Wherever Radon is. Oh yeah, right here. Just gonna do that really quick.
Oh, Finch still had them in the air, I believe.
Yep, I'm gonna put them in there right now. Boom, Shaka, Laka.
Is that not them up? Oh, I see the new.
I'm just swapping the minis out is all. Just so we can get a good, cool Radon in there. So that's Radon's mini right there.
Woo!
Looking very surly. I just put you in, buddy. There we go. Now I can delete the old one. And then I just got to go put Alistair in there, and then we can get to it, everybody. Thank you for your patience. I apologize. Alistair. Whoops. There, I am here. There's Alistair. Look at him. Look at him. How Greek. All right. All right, now we're good to go. Thank you, everybody. I definitely am not missing anything else. Okay, so we'll review everybody's status effects. But as a reminder, last session, the party was making their way across the Suncut roadway, and you found an army of ghouls and ghasts at the Suncut Roadway. You were confronted by a wraith that identified herself as Archdruid Evandros, and she warned the party to turn away, that there was nothing ahead but death and folly. You were then led by a cleric of the Lawbearer by the name of Theona Bohmham, who led you to a nearby caravan that had also been waylaid by the assembling army, to where you met Alistair de Veneer and Ridon. The two seem to be sort of managing the camp. Alistair being associated with the Blood Hunters and a blood domain cleric of the Queen of Ravens, or excuse me, the Matron of Ravens, and Radon's a little less forward with their background, perhaps, but a drow with some sort of definitely some authority about them, some leadership skills, some martial skill as well. That later revealed to have power over time and space when they got angry, which is cool. You all resolved yourself that the best thing to do was to go to the graveyard, scope it out, and see if you could find the source of the dastardly magic that is leading this tribe of, excuse me, ghouls. Fiona remained behind. Radon, Alistair, and even Balthazar decided to join the fight. Uh, Alistair seemed to be concerned about Adam Volsk's appearance in your story, remarking that he expects that he is dead, having seemingly disappeared, and assumed KIA. And yeah, and Balthazar and Fiona Ballman played some songs for you guys. Balthazar's being, he wrote a couple of them, but the one that he wrote was about your confrontation with the Nightmare of Western, as he has been dubbed, the Oni. The next morning, you all made your way to the graveyard, and after a tactical plan was put in place, we're seeing how all that will go. But at the end of things, a sort of feather and downed champion appears, who I will describe possibly in better detail before we proceed. Standing atop of the main house that seems to be warily protected by the wraiths, you see, clad in black leather armor that has black raven feathers sort of mantled across it, and those feathers sort of turning into magnificent, large black raven wings upon his back. His armor is covered in tiny arcane symbols and runes, and has a sort of dark metal raven skull sort of across the front of the chest. He wears a mask that has like a long beak. It looks like sort of like a raven mask, very plague doctory, but more ornate, more designed, and sort of glowing white eyes out from underneath the mask. Long black hair that has a couple of braids and bluish beads sort of strewn across, a couple of feathers, and in his hand, a black raven feather across the bottom, but the rest of the blade is just like this wicked silver, sharp-ended weapon that seems to hum with energy as he wields it in the air. This lithe, half-elven character appears and says, "Archdruid of Andros, the Raven Queen will see you slumber," and enters initiative. I believe he appeared at the end of the Archdruid's turn, which brings us and turns us over to Zarvog the Grim. So, before we proceed, let's go down the order. We'll come back to you in the end, Zarvog, to proceed, but let's go over any status effects that may be in play. Just to review. Zarvog, do you have any spells, active effects?
I have a Hunter's Mark that has not been assigned. That's still active.
No problem. And Fen's just Fen. Fantastic. Balthazar does not have anything in play other than poking people with his rapier. Alistair does not as well. If I'm not mistaken, hasn't used anything of significance. Dagger in hand. Finch, you, my friend, definitely have Radiant Soul going. Is there anything else in play?
No, not no. I think it's just me carrying our new friend.
We're done. Understood. We don't need to worry about any status effects the Champion of Raven has already put into play. Radon is currently just Radon, wasn't raging at the time, if I'm not mistaken. Them's a lot of ghouls. That's their status effect. As is the ghasts. They don't have any other status effects currently. Ember Van Zyl, do you have anything in play?
Just my perpetual mage armor.
Fair enough. And Yvain, I know Happy is sort of retreated down here and sort of hopping around the battlefield, but do you, other than, of course, your Moonbeam, have anything else in play? You're muted.
No, the plant growth is what it is once it's not a concentration thing. So just the moonbeam, and I assume that Happy is making his way to me in the discreetest, not through the battlefield-ish, going through the shit.
I think Happy, yeah, Happy's technically your familiar and can sense your want for Happy to be close. But I'll just say Happy is, that's sort of objective 2. Objective 1 is not die. But is doing its best to make its way to you. Yes. Archdruid Evandros laid down a very powerful, effective status effect that would have turned the tide, but unfortunately everyone succeeded their saving throws, so Nurgle don't have any status effects going right now. That will bring us to Zarvog the Grim at the top of initiative. Those are all of our effects in play. What would you like to do?
All right. I believe there's still one ghoul over here with me, right, that I have to clear out?
Yeah, the one up on the wall.
Yep. So I'll have Fen gore and fight that one. I don't remember. I thought that one may have had some damage, but I don't remember, so I might just be wrong about that.
That one has not taken any damage yet.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. I'm still gonna have Fen attack first.
Go for it.
Oh, the first one is probably not gonna hit. That's a 4. That's a 12 to hit.
12 just hits.
Oh, nice. All right.
Nice.
In that case, get out some dice. That's 14 piercing damage.
14 piercing damage. Absolutely slashes into the ghoul. It is bloodied.
And Fenn's going to go ahead again with the bite, second attack.
Hell yeah.
And that is big. That's a 23 to hit.
Easy hit. Easy.
But that one's not going to be as much damage. 6 damage.
6 damage. The creature is hanging on to life, but is very bloodied.
Okay.
Or
I will go ahead and not much of a choice. I'm going to go ahead and attack that ghoul myself.
Fair enough.
I currently have the Oni Dream Cleaver on me. I left the my crossbow laying on the ground. Yep, over there. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I will go ahead and attack with the Dream Cleaver. It has a 10-foot reach.
Fantastic.
That's a 20 to hit.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and I did
2 more than. Yep.
I did not. That stinks. I did not switch my hunter's mark, but I may be sad about that in a minute. 4 damage.
Well, luckily it only has 2 health left, so you
nice. All right.
Carve across it and it, it's split and it falls off the wall.
Okay, now a bunch of extra stuff to do. I'm going to take my movement to get over to my crossbow.
All right, making your careful way around the moonbeam.
Yes, and all the plants. Basically, all of the obstacles that Yvain has put in my way.
So Arvog's like, why are you trying to hit me with a moonbeam? Doesn't.
So I assume I don't have enough action left. I did only take the 1 attack, but I assume I don't have enough action left to pick up my crossbow.
I'd say it's a free action. Free action to just kind of like, I won't say to equip it, but you can like grab the band and like sling it over your back.
Okay, that's fine. I'll do that. And
Unless you want to just trade your Dream Cleaver.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to throw it on the ground. What I'm eventually going to want, as long as that takes, is to switch out the Dream Cleaver, stow the Dream Cleaver, and equip the crossbow, basically.
Okay. Okay. Um, I think the best way to go about that would be, um, hmm. Well, you have an action left, or you have an attack left.
I have an attack left. Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. That attack can be used as like a grapple. So I'll say free action. You can put away the Dream Cleaver, and then second attack, grab the crossbow.
Okay, great. That would be
Cool.
perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
And then I will use my remaining bonus action. How far away is the new ghast?
The new ghast. Is that a pun?
Yeah.
Let's. Which one are you referring to? There are so many.
The one toward the entrance to the crypt there.
That guy. How
Yeah.
far is he? Let's find out. Let's find
Less
out.
than 90 feet, right?
Much less than 90 feet. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll toss my hunter's mark on that ghast.
Fair enough.
And then I'm going to move Fen over.
You have 10 feet left of your own Zarbal.
I'll make my way 10 feet. Yeah, back in that direction. Good. Yep. And then I'll move Fen over, kind of, in front of essentially in front of where the group currently is, maybe 10 feet in front of them.
Okay, like so?
Yeah, a little bit more to the right, maybe.
Like that?
Like that, yeah.
Okay. Sort of like takes the stance, growls. Incredible. Is there anything else?
Nope, that's it. I'm good. Thank you.
No problem. He's got a lot of actions, but not legendary actions. Okay. Let's see what Balthazar's up to. Balthazar's like, are we still going for the crypt thing? Or that's not his voice. Are we still going for the crypt thing? And I think he'll kind of. Alistair says, yes, we are. And Balthazar's will take cover behind the wall. We got cool features. He stands ready. When your legacy focuses with a saving throw. God, he's got a lot of reactions. Not reactions. I think we're gonna whip out a shatter. I think that's gonna be the way to go. He's gonna put a little second level shatter down on what's up in front there. So that's gonna be. I'll roll those in person so it's not as brutal. 6 damage. Con saves against DC. That is a failure from the ghast. And the ghouls fail as well, all by a margin of 1. They will all take 6 damage. Six for the swarm. Let me have a second here. To do a little quick math so I keep track of something. Got it. Okay, a little damage goes off. That will bring us to, I think a bonus action. Oh yeah, someone has Bardic Inspiration around here from Balthazar. That's Finch. Finch, you have Bardic Inspiration, not to forget. It's a D8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Balthazar will give Bardic Inspiration to. He'll see the Champion of Ravens and sort of being in awe of this form. He'll look over to Ember, and he'll say, beware, my friend, for we stand in the shadows of legends, and you will take a Bardic Inspiration. That is a D8. Alistair, I think at this point decides, he looks up in a somewhat holy reverence towards the Champion of Ravens, says, Champion of Ravens. And with determination in his eyes, you're going to see sort of some of the design of his intricate boots unwrap from his legs, and these sort of red wings will spring forth from the outside of his ankles, and he is going to activate his winged boots, and he's going to take flight over the plant growth. And he's going to move a little.
Alistair got tricks.
Yeah, you guys are the only ones with magic items. So he's going to fly up and over there. And with a dagger in hand, he needs to get rid of his. How far does this work for? 30 feet? Perfect. He'll actually put it a little bit over here so he gets in good range. And he says, take out the ghast. I will turn them from this place. And he is going to sort of hold his Matron of Ravens symbol, and he's going to start sort of whispering prayers to it as he is going to prepare a turn undead. He's going to prepare that action. Okay, that will bring us to Finch way across the battlefield. What would you like to do?
Let's see here. I think we were trying to make our way above all of those ghoulies.
See all here. The ghoulies.
Can I see the view from like kind of behind Finch and why am I not remembering this other character's name? Radon. Yeah. Oh, is that what the mini actually looks like? Cool mini.
Yeah, that's Radon's mini.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep it moving towards that whatever it is, like a shed, the shack, the chapel, whatever that structure is that everyone else is moving towards.
No problem. Half movement because you are ferrying an ally at this point.
That's fair. And I'm just gonna do that and dash as far as that'll get me.
Got it. That'll take you a nice 30 feet. You guys could land here if you wanted to. If you wanted to like fully land at the end of your dash and let Radon take care of himself. Or you can drop people for free. So on whatever turn you can decide to drop them. You're certainly close enough to the ground at this point.
I think my fear with that is if we did, and then they start to move, we just get like just swarmed upon.
Got it.
So just trying to keep us like out of harm's way, like even if they follow, like I think that's kind of where I'm at. Because yeah, I honestly like with their movement speed, I think they would catch up to us pretty quickly. So I'm more just trying to keep us like out of harm's way. But I will head in that direction though, because I'm gonna start to warn the party that they're coming and we need to move.
Okay, fantastic. The Champion of Ravens' turn. Okay. Let's see here. Turn. Since he just arrived, I am going to give him his Assassinate feature. I'm not going to give him the full extent of it. This isn't considered a surprise round by any means, but he's still going to get the advantage. He moves with a miraculous hasted speed. He flies across the battlefield and is going to make 4 attacks. Oh, God. Flies up and over here. He's going to do what was insisted upon by Alistair, and he's going to he just swings his arm with incredible speed, and you see the dagger fly forth with sort of like a purplish energy as it flies across the battlefield towards its enemy. We're gonna roll some to hits on it's not even it's a joke. It's a full joke. As long as I don't roll an @1. Okay. That's gonna be. Oh, it's gonna want to do it on roll 20. Hang on, let me just close roll 20 quick so I can get this done. Okay, Ghast is gonna take. We're gonna start the damage with 10 initial damage from the dagger itself. It's gonna take an additional 8 psychic damage. There's no critical hit here, so we don't have to worry about that. There is going to be a Shadow Strike or Shadow Smite That's going to be 60 damage on top of everything, and it is dead on the first strike.
You said 60? 60?
6-0. As it like throws the blade forward, it flies across the battlefield in a sort of blackish radiant explosion, which any one of you could identify as like on top of it, there's like a sneak attack woven into it. Eviscerates the gas, just like throws it into it and just like slices right through the neck. Its head just falls to the ground. It is dead.
Can I ask an above the table question? Like, are we just given like the perspective, like any member of the party that's like either on the ground or I guess myself, like with how far away I am, like, would we be able to make out like what the fuck is actually happening with that? Like that it is who we think. I mean, like obviously like as players we know who it is, but like like in game, like are we able to like make out like what is happening? Or no, it just looked like a shadowy figure that just appeared out of nowhere.
Well, no, you can. Alistair just.
So, I'll explain. So you guys can see this entity for what it is. You see like some kind of black leather-clad warrior, mask and wings, with a silver blade, a silver dagger in play. I think just on appearances and even from the first strike, you're clearly in the presence of some magnificently powerful entity. As for if you're aware of like the lore behind this individual, Finch, you may roll me either a history or religion check. As I'm sure everyone wants to know the same, everybody else may get on this check as well, history or religion.
And I know Alistair, like he said something, but I couldn't tell if it was more to like himself, like in disbelief, or like out loud for us all to hear. I wasn't.
Yeah, really because Alistair did just greet him as champion of ravens.
Yeah, that sounded more like an inner monologue or like a disbelief, like a whisper, like, oh, the champion of ravens. Like I wasn't interpreting that as him like calling out.
Yeah. If I say things out loud, I'm assuming that it's out loud. If they have internal dialogues, I'm not sharing those because they might be important. But only those 17. Near to Alistair would have heard that, obviously. So
okay.
13 on the history check.
14. Religion.
13, 14.
17.
17. Ember, are you getting in on this?
Nah, I don't have proficiency in either of them, so seems like
enough,
something that would be above his head.
That's true. Hey, in fairness, you ran an inn for a while, and inns are places of topic. So if you wanted to roll, I think that'd be valid, but your choice as well. Yeah. Okay, so anyone who rolled between a 10 and 15. Let me think here. Anyone rolled between a 10 and a 15? So who are my two people who rolled between a 10 and 15, and what did you roll skill-wise? Like, what's the skill? Yeah.
History.
History, Yvain?
Religion.
And backstory-wise, I wouldn't assume that Zarvog knows much other than he knows, like, the names and general characteristics of the members of Vox Machina.
Got it. So, to be clear, above the table, there are many songs and many stories and many legends about Vox Machina. Some deeply embellished, some not. There is a book, but I'm going to take your backgrounds into consideration here. So, my religion person, Yvain, considering the very isolated background that you come from, and the fact that you rolled religion, I think you would look at this being and the amount of radiant power it's putting forth in the wings. I think that you would... I think in this moment, you recognize this as a champion. And you know champions to be... especially because Alistair said fucking champion of ravens. You get this... You think this is like an angel of the matron of ravens. This is a angelic sort of champion of her cause. More than this, you do not know. Zarvog the Grim, I think you would... I don't know if I want to... Because he is wearing, like, a mask, and there is some... And, like, there's not, like, images of him being floating around. For under that, Zarvog, I would say that you're pretty sure, from a history perspective, you've heard of champions of deities before, people selected by gods to perform, like, to go out and be, like, an exemplar of their majesty. I think you look at this person, I don't think you relate this individual to Vox Machina.
Sure.
But you take it as like some kind of powerful warrior related to a god.
Okay.
And lastly, Finch, what did you roll again?
17.
17. You're from Amon. You roll a 17. You know Lady Kima. You know this is the champion of ravens. This is just from appearances. This is a spitting image of what you were told by Kima once. The warrior, the assassin and paladin of the Matron of Ravens, known as Vax'ildan, a former member of Vox Machina before they died, is I think the best way Kima would have described it.
Right.
Yeah. That's probably as much as Kima probably put into that. And so this person's supposed to be dead. But they're here. So that's what you guys know about the Champion Ravens. Okay, so 1 hit, 1 kill. Anyway, back to the turn. 1 hit, 1 kill. Alistair is going to release the Channel Divinity Turn Undead. In this moment, puts the prayer forth. Matron of Ravens is like, fuck yeah, this is my favorite turn on. This is my favorite Channel Divinity. Let's see. Can he destroy them? 6. A standard ghoul is seed. Nope, can't destroy this one, unfortunately, not at this level, so it'll be turned. Just to go get the things on turn. Turn undead. As an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer and undead. Wisdom saving throw. A failure. Okay, so this group here, in this moment, as Alistair sort of says this prayer to the, sort of calls out in that moment, says, Matron of Ravens, you've sent us your boon, your champion. Let us turn these undead before us, your enemies. And in this moment, the ghouls sort of sprawl and scream in agony as this prayer is let out to the Matron of Ravens. So you would all know that they are turned and afraid until such a time as they take damage. The Matron of Ravens is less concerned now at this point, and is going to turn its attention to the Wraith. The Wraith says, no, stay away from him! Stay away! And he says, it's time for you to go. And he sends the dagger flying. Those other 3 attacks are going to hit the Wraith. Let's see how we do, having finished our smite. Let me roll that damage in there. So that's going to be 16, 24, 8 is 16, 24, and that's going to be 32 damage on the onset. Oh, I did 1 too many, so subtract 8. Sorry, bear with me. This guy's keep it damage. 4, 8, 12, plus the psychic damage. 4, 5, 13 psychic damage, no crits. I'll throw it in there, see if we get a crit. Nope, no crit. I think that's what he does. The dagger gets whipped around, and I will say, blinding speed, folks. Like, you are skilled warriors, but your eyes are having a hard time keeping up with the Champion of Ravens. You see, like, 4 attacks unleashed in 6 seconds, and just moving with absolute haste. So just sort of, if anyone's seen the Legends of Vox Machina, where Vax actually gets the armor for the first time, just zipping around the room when they pull up to that wide shot where you can barely track where he is in the room, it's very much like that. Just flying around, the daggers just flying zips of purple and silver through the air. And then he is going to take his fly of 120 feet, and he's going to, since this is all taken care of over here for the most part, he's going to fly in this direction, and he is going to land right here and sort of bring the dagger and turn his focus to the massive horde on your heels, Finch. And you get a clear view of, oh my God, Maxwell. um, Radon. Radon will just look at you and say, so, am I hanging on or what should I do?
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get us at least to a safer place.
Fair enough. And he'll throw his blade over his shoulder and just sort of hold an attack action in case. Well, he can't really because he like gets into like a kangaroo position. He prepares an unarmed strike on whoever comes near because it is a two-handed weapon and one hand is occupied. All right, Radon just holds an action. That'll bring us to holy fuck ghouls. Oh boy. They're not going to move very far. This one's going to move 15 feet. This one's going to move 15 feet. This sucks. I know this sucks. Dash 15. This one's going to.
How far do they normally move? Oh, that's the dash.
With a dash action, they normally move 60, so that's a quarter of the speed. I think these ones are stupid enough that they're like, yeah, let's just go right into the brush. Sure, why not? Because they spent 5 feet, they will be delayed in their usual movement. They'll only get 10 feet into the brush. These ghouls are going to take the ghasts they command, and they're going to go around, because that's smart. Okay. They're going to start to move around the block on a dash action. And they're going to get to like here, we'll say. This ghast is going to lead his horde. They're going to get to about here on the dash action. Same thing going down here. Dash. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, I'll put everybody over another 5 feet. And these guys are going to follow suit. God, I love this multi-select tool. Holy shit, what was my life before this? I don't remember. Misery. That's all I know. And this last ghast, I think, despite the ghouls, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he's going to just turn and he's going to go with these guys instead. Not that he has much use. I think he'll scramble up here because he doesn't have a horde to deal with. I'll give him a little extra movement. He can tighten that up a little better. So that's those guys covered. These ones are going to... This one's a little trickier. This one gets to here with 20 feet. 10 more feet. Gets it to there. And then it will take the dash action right up to Yvain. These guys are going to be a little more delayed because they're bigger. That's going to be 5, 10, and they'll get out at 15 with a full dash action. These guys here are turned, so they're fucking off, is the best way to put it. They're going to dash action 15, just like Gollum scramble, sort of scramble away in a flurry for fear of the Matron of Ravens herself. Not fully understanding why, but they're running away. These guys are caught up. They need to save the day, or in their minds, save the day. 15-foot dash action. 15 feet. Yeah. It's going to be the same thing here. This one's going to go dash action 10 feet into the mess. And these guys are just going to stay in hot pursuit because they're being led. Do we have anyone else to tend to? No, we do not. And that's the gas, that's the ghouls. Yeah, that plant growth screwed them up a bit. That is going to bring us to Ember Van Zyl. What would you like to do?
Can I see that is right outside the door there? That's the wraith, right?
Yeah, you can see her.
she should have a couple of Eldritch Blasts because, well, I can.
Fair enough. Go for it.
AC 26.
That will most certainly hit.
And AC 16. Oh, actually, let me spend the die 8 to add to that because I can.
Fair enough.
So 16 and 6 is 22.
Well, we'll hold on to the dice because that will hit with the AC 13.
Okay.
Yeah, so you definitely hit. You can hold on to your Bardic Inspiration. Go ahead and roll damage.
It's 3 force and 2 fire for the first one, and 9 force and 2 fire for the second one.
What was the total?
9 and 3 is 12, and 4 is 16.
16. Sorry, I kind of lost track halfway through your.
That's okay because different types. So I sub them out in the off chance that there's resistances or shenanigans.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a fantastic point, my friend. Yeah. Yeah, the fire will be halved.
So
yeah.
So only 14 points then.
Okay. What was the original total you gave me?
16.
Remember? So
16
minus 2. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for the confusion there. Yeah, you send the Eldritch Blasts firing. This beam of Eldritch energy fires into the side of this being. It hits it. It resists the fire for the most part, but it takes the rest of the damage. It is very bloodied. Her incorporeal form is suffering to stay alive. I will note, Ember, and you would know this. Eldritch Blast is pretty much the big, like, I'm a warlock signature spell, especially for professionals. You sort of, in this moment, like, look up at Alistair, like, am I in trouble? And Alistair just gives you, like, a grin and a nod. He seems undisturbed by that concept.
Good.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm good where I'm standing.
Fair enough.
At the moment, so we're good.
No problem. Yvain and Happy, you see the flurry of black feathers just like a bullet shoot over your head. You turn around to see this horrible ghast right in your face. I need you to make a con save as it stunks.
Well, that's not great. Like it's gonna. I'm sure it's gonna fail. Yeah. That's a 5. It was not a natural 1. It was a 2. But yeah, that's a 5. So.
Yeah, no worries. Yes, that is a failure, I'm afraid to say. As it comes up and you sort of turn around and sort of unexpectedly catch a huge whiff of its stench, you're like, oh god, and like grab your nose. But it's too late. The poisons from its stench has sort of filled your body. You are considered poisoned until the start of your next turn.
Cool.
This means that I can let you know what that means if you need to know.
I would like to know, but can I do what I'm going to do so I don't forget and then you tell me before it's over?
Go for it.
Just because I have brain problems. So first thing we're gonna do is Misty Step.
Hell yeah.
Towards Balthazar.
All right, you're right within 5 feet of him.
Excellent. Okay. I've got 30 more feet of movement, right?
You do.
Because that was my bonus action. Okay. Where's Zar?
Zarvolg is to your left.
Going that way.
Okay. You can get within 5 feet of Zarvolg with 15 feet.
That sounds great. Now the gas that just made me sick.
Yeah.
We're gonna guiding bolt him.
All right, turn around. You pull out your star chart. You align the radiant power from within it, and you fire off your guiding bolt as you've always done.
But not with that dice.
You will do this at disadvantage because you are poisoned.
Okay.
So poisoned is disadvantage to ability checks and attack rolls. That's what it is.
Okay, so that was I just rolled an 18. The other one had been a 14. So let me, that should hit. That's a 14 plus a 9. Okay.
Yeah, you hit. No problem. No problem.
I'm going to roll the thing. Come here, stupid thing.
Guiding bolt is great.
For 11 damage, and the next person to hit that gets advantage on it.
Fantastic. Despite the poison, you sort of shakily raise your arm and you fire off this bolt of radiant energy, flying across the battlefield, smashing into it and letting it glow with starlight.
Yeah, so that's it for me now. I'm going to sit here and be poisoned.
Okay. Happy's gonna go. He's got 50 feet.
Yeah.
Is gonna bounce 25 20 feet up and out and sort of like shakes himself and like looks up, and the matron of or the champion of Ravens is like looks at Happy, and Happy's like bounces away because he's terrifying. And Happy's got that was 20, so we got 20 more.
So my familiar had a moment with the champion of Ravens, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, they just made eye contact and just kind of intimidated Happy, and Happy was like, oh, and then kind of bounded away. You do see, I will say, funny enough, you do see the champion of Ravens like watch Happy bound away, and he kind of, for a moment, is like actually distracted by Happy, which is strange, and then kind of turns back to what he was doing. Okay. That is going to bring us to Archdruid Evandros, who is very damaged. Her smoky wraith form is suffering. She goes, oh, no. Fuck, let's see. Oh, you guys are also spread out now. What the fuck? I think it's a bit of a... Let's see, if she moves there, she could... How much speed we got? Oh, we got tons of speed. She'll move 15 feet down the line here because she flies, so she's not worried about the plant growth. She'll put a little height on that too. And she's going to... And you see she brings her hand forth. The elements of nature sort of form around her hand, and she's going to cast forth the lightning bolt. Fires across the battle. I need a dex save from Alistair, Balthazar, Yvain, and Zarvolg. Alistair fails.
I got a 20.
Balthazar fails.
30,
20 save. Yep, save.
15.
15 is a save. So a save for our PCs, fails for our NPCs. That's going to be a great deal of damage.
Look at that giant clump of dice.
Yeah, that's going to be 22 points of lightning damage to Alistair and Balthazar, 11 to you two.
Right, yeah.
Balthazar goes, ah! No, he doesn't do that. He's not Gandalf. But he does have a million reactions, so I should probably look at them to see if he can save someone. That's for crits. Let's see. So rest. The provision of 30 feet with D20. Attack will put into a saving throw. So close your game. One expended use of. Oh, when you are an ally within 30 feet of you, rolls a 1 on the D20. Oh, that's hilarious. Everybody, remind me if you roll a nat 1 while you're near Balthazar. And now they see the force. The creature takes a saving throw. Expended inspiration makes to change the type of save to present state instead. He will try. If the target fails to save the roll of bardic inspiration dies, the target takes psychic damage equal to the results and is plagued by regret for 1 minute. He's going to, as Alistair fails the saving throw, he is going to sort of strum on his lyre as the lightning is sort of hitting him, and he's going to sort of say, "Your fate may be changed, Alistair de Veneer. Do not let this sorrow pass you by," and is going to use Sorrowful Fate. Alistair gets to re-roll this as a charisma saving throw now. And he saves instead. That's incredible. Good job, Balthazar. I'm so proud of you. But you have to spend a Bardic Inspiration to do that. Oh, no, he didn't. He just has to spend it. He'll do that once a day. Okay, cool. Now, as she, like, throws the lightning forward from her hand, she spins around, flies back into the hut, and slams the door.
Oh, so she's inside now?
Yeah, nobody's home.
Rude.
Sarvold the Grim, it's your turn. Yeah, when you're mortally wounded, it's best not to stick around, I find.
Yeah, I was going to mortally wound her. All right. I guess, can we pan the camera to the left some so I can see the beasties that are... Oh, no, there's some over there toward the hut, right? Never mind.
Yeah, there's plenty over there.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a glowing ghast.
There is a glowing ghast over here. You'd have advantage on attacking if you want it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That gas is glowing. I forgot about that.
I set that up for you.
Yeah, that's right. You did. I forgot about it. I have brain problems too. All right. So I will switch my
Hunter's Mark?
No, I'm not gonna switch my Hunter's Mark. I'm just gonna go ahead and attack it.
Fair enough.
I take that back. I take that back. I am going to switch my Hunter's Mark and attack it.
Fair enough. Ooh, I forgot to add more ghouls and gas to the field. So while you're doing that, keep going.
Yeah, so that's one attack for the attack was 26 and the damage was 9.
All right, 26 definitely hits, 9 damage.
Oh, and then a 27. Damn it. Why don't I get crits on a 19?
Yeah, no crits on a 19, I'm afraid. Advantage is spent.
And then another hit for 15.
15 hits.
And I'm going to go ahead and send Fen in that direction as well.
What was the damage on the second one?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. The 15 was the damage. The actual to hit was 27.
All right, 15 damage. It is barely alive. It is hanging on to life.
Great. I'm going to send Fen at it.
All right, Fen turns around and goes and goes charging 40 feet to get there. Go ahead.
Perfect. He's going to use a gore. That's going to be, oh, nice. Like a 24.
24 certainly hits.
That damage is 11.
11 hits. Oh, sorry. Against the gas, 11 does not hit.
No. The 24 was the to hit. 11 was the damage.
God, and 11 was the damage. My apologies. Sorry, there's so much going on. Yeah, runs up and then like shanks into the side of this creature, and it falls dead.
All right. And he's out of movement, so he's going to just stay there. I'll probably take some movement with Zarvog. I'm going to put myself, I guess, kind of near where Ember is.
Okay.
I want to be kind of equidistant from the ones that are coming up from the back and the ones that are up toward the, I guess, the crypt. So yeah, about there. That's fine.
Okay, excellent.
And then that's my turn.
Fantastic. Balthazar says, be gone. You should know that I am in the business of misery. And he's going to cast Healing Word on himself. gonna be a big ol' 5 plus 4 is 9 healing to himself. And then as an action, oh, I'll put that down for him. Oh, he had to use his reaction for something else. He is going to say, when a creature is allies. I think he's just going to do a little vicious mockery. And he's going to, I think that ghoul gassed right there, and he's going to say, "Ye are a stain upon your father's name," and that's going to be a wisdom saving throw. Ah! Oh my god. There we go. That is a failure from the ghast. The ghast is going to take 2d4 psychic damage and disadvantage on its next attack. So 6 damage. Ghast. And a little disadvantage. And Balthazar, I think, is somewhat happily situated. He's going to put himself here, back up just a slight bit. That'll bring us to Alistair, who has so many tricks up his sleeve. I can infuse wounds, worse than negative your foes, your damage dealing spell for its longer duration. Okay, Crimson Bond. Nope. Nope. Try larger. DC or be charmed by you. No conditional squad. He knows that they're immune to that. Sacrifice a portion of vitality. Does not need to do that as of yet. I think it's just going to be some spell casting this time around. Perhaps. How's the party looking? Is anyone terribly wounded? Anyone terribly, horribly wounded?
Not at the moment.
Nope. Just some lightning. Okay.
Evane's down a bit. She's singed a bit.
Fair enough. Let's see. Freddy has 10 points. You're a little singed. You folks did take a little damage one way or another. Up to 6 creatures. Okay, he's gonna hold off on that. I think. He knows that we're being a little overwhelmed here. He's going to turn to, I think, Zarvolg. And he is going to sort of put his hand to his amulet, and he's going to bring his hand forward, and he is going to cast the spell Haste on you, my friend. Yes. Oh. So, you will have, just as a reminder of your features, you have a +2 bonus to AC. You have an extra action, which can be used to make one attack, or the standard combat actions, dash, disengage, hide, so on and so forth. And you also have double speed.
All right.
So he's concentrating on that on you. And that's going to be him. I don't think he has any significant bonus actions after that. Oh, he's got the spiritual weapon all the hell the way over here.
He does.
That he'll apply. That hasn't hit very often. But it will now.
Spiritual weapon that he definitely didn't forget about.
Yeah, exactly, that I didn't forget about many times during this battle. 8 damage to the ghast as it swings around, hits. That will bring us to Finch. Finch, champion of Ravens, just sort of like, you can see that he's covering your wherever you're going. What do you do?
His fangirling is a free action.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
Oh my god. Do you see me seeing you? Let's see here.
Right now. No,
I am going to talk to Radon, and I'm going to say, so what do you think your move wants to be? Do you want me to let you down, or are you coming with me?
I'll go with you. Why don't you just drop me off?
Okay.
Or you know what? There's all these people coming in. Radon's like, you guys are kind of covering the rest of the party. So Radon says, why don't you drop me off here, and I'm going to cover that gate over there.
Yep. So I will release him.
All right. Whatever everyone's doing, tell them to hurry up, and that'll be. We'll get to Radon when we get to Radon. But what else do you do with your turn? You have full action economy left.
Let's see here. Yeah. So there's a bunch more coming. So I am gonna shout to the party, just like letting them know, like kind of the severity, because obviously I'm guessing I can see like over the gate and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna like shout to the party like that they're coming. So like I'm just gonna say like keep moving and let's see here. If Radon is gonna be there.
Yeah, Radon intends to go to like what a point and says he intends to go over.
Yeah.
Here. Like cover the retreat, so to speak. So where would you like to go?
I think that I'm not going to leave him behind because that's just horrible. So I think I'll just let him onto the ground so he can use his movement. And then I think I'm gonna fly towards that direction, but kind of like stay like levitated, but like behind, like anticipating like where he's gonna go and like likely behind him. Yeah. So like, pretty much out of the way so I don't get like overwhelmed by that swarm, but like enough to monitor like what's going on and to cover him, like if I need to pick him up again, because that's a lot.
Got it. So where is that exactly?
Maybe over, yeah, kind of where that is, and then like over a little bit, like towards like more the center of like where the opening, like where they would be coming through, kind of like yeah, like where it would just like they would come head on to the both of us, basically.
Got it. You are in melee range of the ground, though. By the way, you're only 5 feet off the ground. Would you like to elevate a bit?
Yeah, just a little bit, like enough where I would be outside of like melee, and like where it wouldn't cost me too much then to drop and like grab him if I needed to.
What if we put you at like 15 feet? Because folks can jump.
Yeah, so that's fine.
You, like right there.
And he's dexterous. I mean, he's a barbarian. Tough. He can handle it.
Yeah. All right. What would you like to do with your action and bonus action?
I think I'm just gonna hold an attack for now. And like I said, I'm gonna just try and keep the party like warned about like the swarms that are coming and that they need to like get away or like keep progressing forward into the graveyard.
Got it. So the rest of you sort of hear from the back and see sort of the radiant light very, very opposite aesthetics. You see, despite the sort of chitin armor, the radiant glowing Finch sort of very heroically from the skies calls out like, you know, hurry up, we got company, we got a lot of company coming. And then on the other hand, too stealthy, too dark to catch Vaxeldon or this strange raven warrior for most of you. Okay, that'll bring us to the champion of ravens. Okay. Let's see, bonus action. For no particular reason, we're going to take the dash action. I'm just kidding. I think there's going to be... let's see. We're really fast. So I think he's going to sort of fly into the shadows under this tree over here, 15 feet, or run over anyway. Jump into stealth with a cunning action. Easily hides from all. Is going to... How much height can we get here? How far is this dagger go? Very far, very, very far. So seeing that they're sort of flooding through here, Fenn's about to get swarmed. I think he's gonna run over here, come around the corner, and attack this swarm. The dagger, he whips it, or actually he can just do it from under the tree over here, saving a little movement. Not that we're lacking for movement or anything. Okay, let's give it a shot at advantage. That's going to hit. Let's see. I'm just gonna check to make sure I'm not missing any important features from the ward. Nope. And we're gonna check on Whisper as well. Move D6 plus D6. Okay, no, we're not worried about that. Okay. Throws Whisper, that's gonna hit. It's gonna be right, 9. Hordes are a little more chunky. 1 psychic damage. He's going to do another throw. This is an advantage. So, just hoping attack. He doesn't have disadvantage in the attack roll. We'll throw the Shadow Smite on there. So 52 damage to the Horde on top of it. And then it's going to follow up with the last 3 attacks. Is going to use Fate Touched to undo that one. That's going to hit. We'll do the other attacks, get them out of the way. Those will all hit. And that's going to be... I'm sure I just hit the button for Whisper and make my life a lot easier. All right, 9. 3, 11. 11, and then another 3d8 on top of it. 6, 7, 8. All right, and this Horde is looking bloodied. And I think he's going to sail around and sort of guard this exit now. And sort of hold the line there, dagger in hand, ready to go. Radon is going to... I think he's going to run over here. Radon's going to go into a rage. Bam. We're going to see... what we got. Okay, the same thing happens. The time thing happens. Things slow down. And then there's going to be some attack actions at advantage. They all hit. Oh, here's my gross dice. That's going to be 11, and that's going to be 10. It's going to be 11 additional damage, and that is, I believe, a dead ghast. Yep. Nope. Still alive, if barely. Oh no, rage damage. I forgot about rage damage. It's dead. Radon sort of runs forward. Time slows down around the ghast, and he just cleaves once, pulls the sword out of its body, cleaves again, and drops the ghast to the ground. Very good for Radon. That'll bring us to the Ghoulies. This pack of Ghouls is gonna attack the Champion of Ravens. I'm sure that's gonna go great. Let's see. They're gonna try and bite him. That is going to be a 19, which will miss. And then we're going to go to some other people. Let's see. Oh, shit. Try and do this right. Hell yeah. These guys take another 15 feet run at it. Oh, yeah. Okay. These guys take a run at it. That's 30. It's 30 feet. I think they're just going to dash up to Radon. They're slowed, so that's all they can do. It's a 30-foot over to here. I think they're just going to action dash, sort of run past. I'm going to say, guys, at this point, you're starting to get the idea that the ghasts sort of inform a certain intelligence to the pack of ghouls. When the ghast dies, the ghouls become a little bit more savage, a little bit more sort of, at the whim of their will, but the ghast seems to have some tactical ability about them. They're no general of armies, but they're not base creatures. This one will do a little 60-footer as well. That's all my boys over here. Let's see. I know I got more. Yeah, these guys, they're gonna go. I'm gonna put them. Let's see, this is 15 here. I'm gonna put them like so, as that is considered rough terrain. Got these guys who have a little bit of walking to do. And they're gonna get to here again, difficult terrain. Alright, these guys are gonna go up to there. That's their move. We're gonna delete that one so I don't get confused. Okay, now for the interesting stuff. These guys are turned. They're just gonna run away so fast, so furious. They'll end up there. These guys are happily gonna wade into the stuff. 15-foot dash. These guys are gonna do the same thing. 15 foot on a dash. That's them. I think that's all of them. Wow, this is getting so easy. It's because they're all dying. That's fine. That's the Ghast's turns as well. Yeah, they haven't been able to do much. You guys have been shutting them down pretty well. Ember, you're up to bat, my friend. What do you do?
As a bonus action, I'd like to take my flask out of my jacket pocket and open it and release red.
Red is released. We'll call it a bonus action. I'll be slightly generous. Get red out there. Oh, I think I have a mini for red. Not a hand, but there we go.
And I'm gonna send his gassy body towards the building and have a peek inside.
Got it. How fast is red?
40. Fly at 40.
40. Red's gonna get right there, not quite to the door.
That's okay.
Okay, I will say it's a ruined building, so for a gas form, there's lots of cracks and crevices to seep through to get to the interior.
Yep, that's the plan. For an action, I got 150 feet, so yeah, I'm gonna nuke the two groups that are gathered up in front of the door there.
Got it. Fireball?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Bam. Bam. No need to aim too precisely. There is a lot of targets. Fantastic. How's that?
Fantastic.
Cool.
And that's I can spend one more off the wand. So let's make it a DC 15.
Okay, DC 15. Dex save. Fail. Fail. Pass the swarms. And then the ghoul fail, or the gas fails, and the gas. So those are all failures across the board.
31 points.
Hoochie mama. He's hot. So 31. This one's gonna take a bonus 31 and be very dead. And there's a lot of them. They sort of stack on each other and sort of cover each other. These are swarms. So we're going to use swarm rules here. A little difficult to... Yeah,
that should soften them up.
Definitely softens them up. It is also worth noting that as the fire hits the plant growth, it will burn away a decent portion of it. So I'm just gonna track that really quick. All right, and that will be red. Okay, fantastic. So everything within that ring no longer has difficult plant growth terrain anymore. And there is a little fire at the edge of it as well, because it catches fire. That's how it works. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Ember?
A 30-foot move forward.
30-foot move forward. No problem. That will put you in the plant growth.
We'll post up just outside of it then.
Got it. I don't think you would have had the speed to like make the initial trek inside anyway, so it's all good. Okay, big flame bomb goes off. Yvain, it is your turn.
All right, so the guy that there's a
Happy
guy.
runs up to you.
Oh, thank goodness. There's a guy still standing near the door. Yeah.
There is a gas still standing near the door. Yes.
Right, so I'd like to put him in my moonbeam, please.
Fantastic. Moonbeam. You can put him and his swarm in the beam if you want.
Yeah, I would enjoy that. Yes, please.
Okay, fantastic. Beam of light shoots down on these would-be guards. Is there anything else?
I will move up behind Ember, sort of stay near him.
Okay. Like so, 30 feet?
Yeah, 30 feet towards it, yeah.
No problem. As a note, you are no longer poisoned, as a reminder.
Oh.
It was only for your turn. Yep.
Wonderful.
So Happy's with you now. Happy's
Yay!
Happy's not a free agent anymore. Happy sort of clambers, follows you. It does not willingly go into the harness, into the baby harness, but does like hop after you for the rest of until such a time as you decide to put Happy in. Doesn't resist, but doesn't willingly go within. You know what I mean?
Well, no, it's fine. He needs to. He can stay by me. He doesn't have to be attached to me. I just don't want him.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's he's with you now.
Excellent.
Let's see. What is the Arc Druid doing? Damn, it's gotta be like that, huh? Okay, sure. Big explosion. You'll see through various cracks and missing cobblestones in the actual hut. There's little 3 bolts of force power magically fly at you, and you're going to be hit by a magic missile, Ember, 3 times.
Okay.
Luckily, they rolled minimum damage. That's going to be 2, 4, 6 force damage to you, sir.
Okay.
If you're concentrating on anything, that'll be 3 con saves.
I am not concentrating on SWAT.
Fair enough. Might have blamed the wrong individual then. But nonetheless, that is what the Arc Druid does from within her hut. Zarvog the Grim, you are feeling mighty fast, my friend. What do you do?
Oh, yeah. As Misery Business plays, I'm going to enter the Speed Force. And
all right, go for it.
I wanted to get to that door and see if I can get it open.
All right. 15 feet. We're now doing quarters. So I'm going to track it over here.
And also, if that's not going to work, if I can't get to the portion that Ember just burned off in enough time, can I try a trail over top of the crypt there?
Oh, you want to go? Ooh, hang on. Let me put you back where I found you.
Whatever
do
gets
like
me to the door.
Sort of like around there kind of thing, kind of like around the tree.
Whatever gets me to the door.
All right, so we'll try that way. It'll probably be less movement. So 20. We'll say 15 to here. So you're at. You spent 35 at this point. Now we're doing quarters for a second. You'll go here for a quarter. That's going to be another 20 feet. So you're now at 55 feet. You will require a dash to make the rest of the way, but you do have your hasted action if you wish to use it.
All right. I will action dash.
All right, use your hasted action to dash. You move out of it for another 20 feet. You're rocking a hot 75 feet at this point, but you've got 120 right now, so you're good.
So I have another, so I have another 45 to go.
All right, so you can step over here. You are in melee range of the ghoul. That's 85 feet. And you kick open the door as a free action. Nothing's locking it. You open the door and you see the wraith sort of floating inside. And within, you see this skull that has arcane sigils across the forehead, and two red gems that glow in its eyes. And it has a small circle of eldritch power around the base of it as it sits on a piece of rubble. And she's sort of, be gone from this place. You will touch him.
All right. Bonus action, switch my hunter's mark.
All right.
I'm going to take a shot at the wraith.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh, yeah. Exactly what I was looking for.
Natural 20.
Crit, natural 20.
Hell yeah. Roll me that big damage. Oh, shield. No, I'm kidding.
So that's going to be a lot-ish.
As long as it's more than 4 damage, you should be good.
It's way more than 4. It's probably more than 40.
All right, you kick open the door. She says, "Be God, do not touch him!" And you fire your bolt. It shoots right into the forehead of this creature and like destroys a brick in the back of the ruined house. And her wraith-like form falls to the ground, and she stretches an arm to the skull and says, "So." She disintegrates into a black mist that vanishes.
I'm going to use the more of my movement and my last action to grab a hold of that skull and pick it up.
Got it. You run in for another 15 feet. We're sitting at a hot 100 feet. You got 20 left. You bring your hand forward, and as you do, your hand sort of bounces off an invisible field that you cannot see, and you sort of shocks your hand a little bit. Not enough to do damage, but you hit an invisible force.
Okay. Does it still cost me that action?
No, that was...
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, you're fine.
Then I guess I will turn around and use my final action to fire out the... Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to stay inside. Use my final action to fire out into this closest group of baddies.
Got it. You want to hit these guys?
Let me... Who's in front of them? What's it look like?
There is this group of ghouls that has no ghast to lead them. There is a ghast and a moonbeam, and then the ghast has a horde that follows it.
I mean, I only have one shot, so I'm not gonna steal this kill. I'll take the ghast.
Got it. I will say the ghast did opportunity attack you. I forgot to do it. It's gonna try and strike you with its claws. That is a natural 20.
Ooh.
You're gonna take.
Ryan.
Yeah.
I will spend my reaction and silvery barbs that.
Oh, thank you.
Got it. We'll re-roll then. That is going to be much less. That's going to be a 13.
That misses.
Very good. Ember, who would you like to grant your advantage to?
I'm going to grant it to
Shadow Boy? Oh, Finch. Okay.
She's doing the rear guard action. She can have all the bonus she wants.
Fair enough. What's the range on Silvery Barbs?
Oh, I think that's only 60 feet. I got to choose somebody else then. What's the distance? Yeah, we'll give it to Daxel then.
Got it. This sort of champion person, you sort of make this sort of insult and somehow turn it into sort of a positive moniker that you've powered towards the champion. Fantastic. Zarble, go ahead and take your shot.
Yep, I took my shot. 16 to hit.
16 hits. Roll damage.
And the damage was 14.
To the ghast?
Yep.
That is a dead ghast.
All right.
All the ghouls are just... And they're just like a little bit more free.
Oh, and then let me see where Fen is before I end my turn.
No problem. Fen is back here holding down this entranceway. There's a whole horde of ghouls right here you can attack.
And Vaxeldon's there.
That's right. A bunch of them are dead too, by the way.
Yeah, let's send. I guess we'll send Fen into that horde to start attacking.
Got it. Go for it. Make an attack.
That is a 13. I can't. Did you say 13 hits?
13 hits. Roll damage.
All right. Going to be 8 damage.
8 damage. That is going to be reduced to 4 damage as per it being a horde. There's a lot of targets here. Makes it harder to kill them.
That's fine. And then 17 to hit the horde.
That'll hit.
And that's going to be 5 damage.
5 reduced to 2. Okay, he's just tearing into the nearest ghoul with all of his might.
Right.
Okay.
Scrapping and biting.
Exactly, scrapping and biting. Balthazar. He's going to. I think he isn't much worried about this initial forward threat anymore. I think he's going to try and. Oh, I know what he's going to do. What is the 20-foot cube, huh? Whatever. He's gonna, let's see here. Give me a stone wall. Ding! He is going to bring his hand forward and he is going to cast Major Image. And he is going to produce a stone wall blocking the next entrance to hopefully dissuade some attackers and make them have to find an alternate route if they are tricked by his spell. And that is what Balthazar will do. That is going to bring us to Alistair, who is going to sort of flutter over to here, and he's going to do another turn undead. Now that all the ghasts are gone. They fail their saving throws, and they are very scared. It's very scary, guys. Oh, I guess I did that a little wrong. They are turned in this moment. Give them a color to keep track of it. Remind myself. Color orange. Okay, perfect. They are all turned by Alistair. Alistair will throw a little, what's it called? Healing word on you, Yvain. He'll do another second level healing word.
Thank you.
It's gonna be 6. It's gonna be 8 healing to you. So you're quite welcome. And he will sort of call out and say, "What have you found, Zalvolk?"
I found a skull. What was he? The wraith is gone.
Well, is this a particularly interesting skull, or is this just someone misplaced it?
It's not particularly interesting to me, but I can't touch it. It won't let me touch it.
Well, that's pretty interesting to me. I'll be there in a moment, and that'll begin, or he'll fly in. Using the rest of his movement, he'll sort of fly into the doorway and land, and that'll be his turn. And he's going to make a little roll with his free action as he looks over at the skull. Oh, God. Yeah, he knows what's going on. Finch. Finch.
Yeah.
Big old paladin Finch. What do you do?
Let's see here. We got going on. We got ghoulies all over the place.
More ghouls coming. See, you like as you look out past, the board, you do see the bulk of the horde army brought to bear has all turned his attention to the graveyard. They are all rushing in this direction.
Cool. All right then. Trying to like get my bearings here. All right, so some of them are caught up in this time warp thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. Can I fly? So there's like that ghast that's like to my character's right. That's like sort of like right beneath me. Can I fly like right in front of it and just like land right in front of that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 20 feet and you can land right in front of the ghast.
Okay.
Yeah. Not in, we'll say yeah, 25 feet in melee with the ghast to no one else.
Yes, that's fine. Okay. Let's see here. I think I will just swing on that then because you said that that's the only one that I'm in melee with. So I'm just gonna try and strike with my warhammer.
Fair enough.
Okay, and that's 15, 21 to hit.
21 will hit. Roll damage.
Okay, and I'm going to use a first level spell slot and smite with this.
Go for it, schmite.
Here, let's see. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, and then let's see here. This is an undead, right?
This is definitely an undead. You'll get an extra
Okay.
D8.
8, and then that is 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 21. So that's 21 points of damage plus the damage from my Radiant Soul is another 6 on top of that. So like 27 points of damage.
27 points of damage. Tasty. You smash into it, and it is very hurt.
Okay. I am gonna try and smack it again.
Okay. Smack it again.
Smack it again. Let's see here. That's a 10 on the dice plus 6. So 16 to hit.
16 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Cool. And then this is just gonna be like a regular strike. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. Additional 7 bludgeoning damage.
Additional 7 bludgeoning damage. Fan-fucking-tastic. How is he doing? He is barely standing with that 7 extra damage.
Okay. Let's see here. I don't
Bonus
think.
action?
I'm going to save that because I don't have many spell slots left. So I think we are good. Yes, that's all I want to do for now.
Got it. All right.
Yes.
Champion of Ravens. Big old whisper attacks here. He's got the advantage, so he doesn't need to use his cunning action. Easy hit. It's going to be 10. Oh, that was is that a crit? No. It'll be 16 damage to the horde. Well, actually, I haven't been doing it quite right. That'll be 11 damage to the horde. Yeah, why don't we just be done with this horde? And he'll put a Shadow Smite into it as well. 48 damage. And for you, Paladin Finch, who's, you know, having a heyday about this, the smites that he's laying into these creatures are of substantial power, like truly astonishing levels of power. Nothing less than like an upper holy ability. Something no mortal should be able to conjure.
Yay!
They all there's this blast, and the blast of the ghouls are scattered in many pieces as they fly. That is going to bring us where's the champion going next? I think the champion's going to come help out as you guys are. You guys aren't too screwed yet. Those are all turned. He looks around the battlefield, quickly assessing. He's going to fly over here. And he's going to throw Whisper at these little remaining ghoulies down here. Alright. No advantage. 23 to hit. That's going to be 18 damage to This one kills the ghast. He's going to start working on the stragglers. He'll do another one. 26 will hit for... how much health do these guys hold? 14. We'll send a last one, and that will end this one here as well. Champion of Ravens will fly with like a flurry of feathery speed and sort of disappear behind the brush of this tree. Cutting action stealth. Radon is going to run just sort of to the leap. No, I was going to stay put a little cornered here. I think I was going to aim for the ghast. Would make the most sense. Or actually, let me go check their feature. I think they get a special little power. Okay, cool. I think is going to use in this moment uses a chaos burst to sort of absorb all the time that is being taken from these ghouls, and they're going to go faster now, and they're going to be somewhat hasted. And take 3 reckless attacks. That's going to hit. That's going to hit. And that's going to hit. 3 fine strikes. Just roll them over here. So about 8, 10. Plus 2. 4, 6, 11. Okay, 4, 6, 11. That's another 13 damage. And last attack. 6, 12. That's going to be 14 additional damage. And that is a dead ghast. And he's going to move. Now that they don't, any of them have reactions, it's just going to move over here to sort of tag everybody, or as many as possible in the sphere. Slowing everybody down if possible. All right, time for the ghouls. All right, these ghouls a little more rabid are going to attack Dawn. These ones are guided, so this one's going to 30 feet. I think action dash down Fen. These guys are going to struggle to get out of the slow and keep up with their leader. Half movement, 10. We're going to call that 20 feet. Dash 40 additional feet. And get to here. These ones are all going to group up on all of you folks. All right, ghast is attacking you, Finch. Gonna be 19.
No.
Yeah. The next one is the ghouls. The swarm definitely misses you. Radon. Ooh, that's gonna hit Radon. Radon's doing a con save. Succeeds the con save. Takes 7 reduced 3 slashing damage. Alrighty then. We got more. These ones are all going to 15 feet, because that's how good we are. Not that good. 15 feet. Ooh. Oh, yeah, there's these guys over here. Hey, Finch, you're so freaking popular. What was that, Finch from the Mon? And they're going to attack you. Guys, stop. Miss.
This tickle.
And a miss. Yeah, you basically put the shield in front of your head, and they're just scraping. There's like no shit. It's literally like like a dozen ghouls and 2 ghasts just like on top, like Agent Smith attacking Neo, where they like all jump on top of him and it's like a huge thing. That's literally what you're doing right now, Finch. You are
Nice.
like underneath a mob, just like holding fast, trying to protect yourself. They're literally on top of you, scraping at your armor. Um, Utterly overwhelmed, completely disappearing within these swarms. Meanwhile, over here in this direction, these guys are all turned. Haha. Look at these guys, they're turned. What a bunch of losers. Oh, well, it's too late. He's going with. Yeah, I'll just put him here. It's fine. They all go running away. These guys are going to keep running away because they're so scared. They fully leave the battle. These guys are all gone. These guys run to join the fight. 60-foot dash gets them to here. Ooh, I forgot about the moonbeam. Yvain, would you be so kind? It's gonna be 11 to save, which fails.
That's 10. Yeah, I was wondering about that. 10.
Yeah, I forgot. But we're here. They are no longer going to be turned because they took damage. That's okay. 10 damage, you say. Okay, they'll take 10 radiant damage. Very good. This will change what they want to do. They are going to go running after the people who are in the hut. I don't think they care so much. No, yeah, they do. Meat, yum, close. They're going to go all attack Alistair. Alistair doesn't have a lot because he wants to look pretty rather than wear armor. So that's going to be a hit on Alistair for the claws. Alistair's going to take...
Am I within 5 feet of Alistair?
You are?
All right, I'm going to use interception.
8. Okay, what happens with that?
That's fine. When a creature you can see hits a target other than you within 5 feet of you with an attack, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage the target takes by 1d10 plus 2.
This is a fighting style, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, fighting style.
So I check it out quick.
I will reduce damage by 11.
Okay. Hang on a second, bear with me. Oh, it's decided to take a while. Okay, here we go. Interception. Hits other than you within 5 feet of you with an attack. A picture that you can see hits a target other than you within 5 feet of an attack. You use your reaction. Yeah, okay, fantastic. I thought... oh, you must be wielding a shield or simpler martial weapon, so you're totally good. You just, like, throw your crossbow in front of it, and it scrapes across the crossbow instead. So it'll take half damage, you said?
11 reduced by 11 damage.
Oh, okay, so he takes no damage, thanks to you.
Yeah, I checked on that melee versus not melee weapon thing before because I thought the same thing.
Amazing. Well, good job, Zarvolg. As, like, he runs and he's like, okay, I think I know what to do. He doesn't see the ghouls coming through the gateway, and you just, like, sort of throw him aside and just, like, take your heavy crossbow and, like, check one of them in the face, and they manage to save Alistair from a blow.
Hey, my first fighter thingy.
Very nice. Well done. What? You guys shouldn't be here. You're so scared. They all ran away. Okay, what else we got? I think these guys are going after everything going on in there too. I think these ghouls are going to hold up outside. But this ghast is going to force its way inside and try and attack Alistair as well. Alistair, more aware of the danger now, sort of paying attention, does manage to defend himself. No damage. The ghouls outside are just going to sort of be clamoring with the other ghouls trying to get inside. Deeply angered, deeply frustrated. That is going to be my... Oh, there's more bad guys. Yeah, these guys are like, fuck, I guess we better go around. And they will run this way and get caught in the rough terrain. Ember Van Zyl, what would you like to do?
Actually, I'm going to start with red.
Okay.
Red's going to move 40 and into the room next to the skull.
Okay.
His bonus action is he's going to coalesce.
Okay. He turns into a hand.
And then I'm going to expend 3 charges on the Ring of the Ram to crush the unadorned skull.
Okay, fantastic. You turn into the Ring of the Ram through the hand. It fires off this ram head that fires into it, and it smashes across the side of some invisible arcane barrier. The skull remains intact, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right, what of yourself?
There's a whole heap outside. We might as well drop my last available nuke.
Okay, go for it. One more for the road.
And that'll be a DC 17 deck save for them.
Success and failure.
And
or you can hit that one ghast in the doorway there too. He succeeds.
That's 29 points of fire.
So this one's going to take 14. This one's going to take 29. A huge chunk of damage. Very good. These guys, I believe, are a little more fresh. 29 damage. There's a lot of them, but you're just chopping through them. This like screeching pain. They definitely like look at you like they want to attack you. But the gas sort of like hisses at them, and they turn their attention back to the hut. Is there anything else?
Nope. That's everything for me.
Yvain and Happy.
Yeah, give me a second. Do I have anything? See, I don't have a great bomb. It feels derivative, but I'm just going to move the moonbeam onto the ghast.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't have anything that I could stick. Ooh, I could cast plant growth again and stick everything in its place.
What would you like to do?
We're gonna moonbeam the ghast this round, but if things get shitty, I'll do some more control.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. The moonbeam moves into the doorway. Fantastic. Okay, that is going to bring us to Zarvog. Zarvog. What do you do, my friend?
Yeah, I'm going to use my bonus action. I'm assuming. Yeah, can you show me my line of sight?
I will do my very best. There's your line of sight. There's a huge beam of radiant light, a ghast over Alistair's shoulder, and a bunch of ghouls behind.
Can I get a shot at the group of ghouls that aren't in the moonbeam?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Hail of Thorns, and I'm going to aim for the ghoul in the middle of the backpack.
All right, in the backpack. You're gonna shoot him in the backpack. All right, go for it. Make me an attack roll. Do you have sharpshooter?
I don't.
This is going to be 3/4 cover. This is a tough shot. There's a lot of them in the way.
Okay. And what's that mean? A disadvantage?
No, just roll normally. They'll get a bonus to AC.
Oh, okay. I got a 22.
22 hits. Roll damage.
Nice. All right, so that's 13 to the one in the middle, and then I'm going to roll for Hail of Thorns.
All right.
All right. 3 to all of the rest, including the one in the middle.
Got it. 3. And this guy's going to take 3 as well. Just holding them at bay. All right, well done, sir.
All right, and then I've got 2 more attacks, I guess, since I'm still hasted. So
yes, you do.
I'll attack the ghast.
Go for it.
Ooh, that's a natural 1 for a 9.
9. Roll to see if you hit Alistair. Roll me one more. Roll me to confirm against his AC.
Yep. Oh, should I do it with my bonus or just a flat D20?
With your bonus. Yep.
Okay. 11.
11 misses. It sails over his shoulder, barely missing him.
All right, and then I have 1 more attack, so I'll use that.
All right.
Damn. 11, but I'm gonna bump that up with saving face.
Go for it.
So that makes it a 16. Or
yeah, that'll hit.
And then 13 damage to the ghast.
13 damage to the ghast. All right, well done. It is very, very, very wounded, my friend. Very wounded indeed. Is there anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, that'll bring us to Balthazar, who sees that everybody's getting a little overwhelmed over there. He's going to throw a shatter. Just keep the shatters coming. They do save this time, both little swarms. That's going to be... nine damage to each swarm. You guys are just laying into them the best of your ability, but there are so many, and they have the constitution of undeath about them. It is a tough battle, but you are whittling away at these hordes. All right, that is Balthazar. He says, whatever you're going to do in there, do it quickly. We're being overwhelmed. I keep going back and forth with his accent. Alistair knows what to do. He looks at the skull, he raises his hand, and he casts Dispel Magic. With that, the ward, the Shimmering Shield ward sort of fizzles out. He's going to just soak the opportunity attack as he walks away from the ghast. It misses, swings over his shoulder, he sort of ducks under it, runs over to the skull, he puts his hand on it, and there's a sort of blackish energy pulls forth, and he sort of lifts it into the air. There's like almost tendrils of black smoke that are trying to link it to the arcane sigil, and he just pulls it into the air, sort of bracing these shadowy tendrils. The runes sort of fail, and all through the courtyard, the remaining ghouls and ghasts and they screech. You see sort of black smoke sort of steam out of their mouths, not like a gram proportion, but like a wisp of black smoke, and then they all fall to their knees, fall to the ground, and they're dead once more, returned to the grave. Combat resolved. And for you, Finch, who is a much better view of the whole battlefield, you see the rushing zombie horde bearing down on you of hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, all stumble and fall over themselves to the ground as this legion lays dead once more. And that is where we'll go to a slightly early break. And I'm sure everyone can figure some stuff they would like to do or talk about when we get back.
Phew! Right on. Very good then.
Getting a little people to temple would have been like, rogues are underhanded, unhonorable fighters or whatever. Kimo's like, yeah, you should have seen Vax, man. He was crazy, dude. That guy was... She does not fit in, as they say. Okay. Alrighty then. Wake of combat, you see All of them fall. Most of you do not know what happens until Zarvolg, Alistair, and the hand known as Red step from the sort of grim halls of what's left of the structures of this graveyard. Amongst many undead, Alistair sort of bears the skull in his hand. Sort of looks at it. Actually, he's not really looking at it, but he like bears it in his hand. And he'll sort of like raise it above his head and say, "It's over. It's over." He'll sort of hold it to his side more and approach the group.
The whole thing? Like, there's no more ghoul army anywhere?
Yeah, I've got so many questions. Whose head was that? Why was a druid undead? It's sort of unusual for druids.
Alistair says, perhaps you might ask it. And he throws the skull in your direction.
I'll absolutely hold on to it.
All right. The skull doesn't have any sort of burning color in its eyes anymore. But there's nothing about it that seems to be actively magical any longer. But as you hold it, do you feel potential attunement? This thing might secondarily function as some kind of magic item.
I'm going to put it in my bag for the moment, and I'll fuck around with it later, you know, because Zar was right. We should be.
You could call it, put in your inventory, mark it down as like silver cut magic skull, I guess. He says, but obviously we can't confirm anything until we've taken a deeper look around, but it seems to be the source of what rose this menace.
That fellow looks like he might know something about it.
Oh yeah, you said champion.
You guys know who that is, right? You know who that is?
The champion of the Raven Queen. I
have no idea.
Yeah, but you know who that is.
Like by name? No.
No, have we met him before?
We?
I feel like Finch is gonna probably like almost be like a lost for words, because there's gonna be like so much information that hits their brain that they want to word vomit, but they won't be able to word vomit it. So they're just gonna be like looking at the party and then like looking at Vax and like looking at the party and looking at Vax. Like,
yeah, I think you see the figure sort of very, very coolly standing on the top of one of these archways, sort of dagger in hand, wings sort of furled back, very, very keenly, dexterously standing on the structure, sort of scanning the countryside. Alistair's like, I feel a deep obligation to commune, or attempt to, with the champion, in case there's any wisdom might be passed along.
Absolutely.
Who would? Do you know him? Like, do you go to school with him or something?
Oh.
You're acting like he's. I don't. Please, if I'm ignorant.
He looks at Alistair. Looks at you, Finch. You get a sense like two of you both have like a.
Especially because obviously he's like a cleric of the Raven Queen, right? So like obviously.
Yeah, big. Obviously he knows what's up. You two both look knowingly at each other. You both know what's going on here.
Do you want me to go ask him?
He is I don't. It's strange. I don't want to undermine what he has become. But it sort of like looks at you, Finch, like, do you want to do the honors? Do you want to say it, basically?
Yeah. Yeah, I would. There's so much I want to say. I mean, with the party, I don't have to explain who like Vox is to the party, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
I think the specific members and their specific stories and the extent of how much everyone knows is, up for grabs, but everyone does know the name Vox Machina and knows that they saved the world like twice. Couple.
If you say the name, she'd probably know who it was, but right now she's not putting two and two together.
Yeah. So that is, as you heard, the champion of the Raven Queen. That is Vax'ildan. That is.
Oh, Tempest's consort. Yeah.
It is him. Yeah. So that's,
wow.
Yeah, he's not no one.
Should we bow or?
Well, I'll tell you what. Everyone, go ahead and roll a history check for Vax'ildan now, who I guess is a different entity to some degree.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh.
Not great. It's a 12.
12. Did you get Zarval?
6.
6. Anybody else roll?
19.
Yeah. 11.
6. Zarval, you're like, the name's familiar. Like, you know it's related to Vox Machina, but like you don't know.
I always forget which one is which.
Yeah, you're like, yeah. Like you've heard of Marvel, but you don't know who Doctor Strange is. Like you've heard the name, but you don't know who it is. Anyone who rolled a 10 to 15 knows, Vax'ildan, general knowledge, the sort of rogue paladin of the party, skilled warrior, lethal assassin. Anyone who rolled above the 15, which I think was one person, would know and relate truly in this moment. Like, he was a champion of the Raven Queens. He is the bearer of multiple vestiges of divergence. He is the slayer of Thordak the Cinder King. Some more broader legends. Any more specific legends and mythos we could roll for. But yeah, that's sort of the basis of knowledge for folks.
I feel like this is a campfire story that we can talk about at a later time.
Could we say hello? Like, I feel like we're keeping him waiting, and he's a very important personage.
I don't know if he's even waiting for us or cares about us, really, now that I'm looking at him. And you guys do see that, like, he very much looks to be, like, scanning the countryside, sort of looking for any more signs of undead. His attention isn't really fixed upon you. In which case you get a sense, like, you have a window if you want to try and talk to him, because maybe he might just decide to leave.
I think I would
walk towards him.
I think I'm going to talk to, like, Alistair, too, and say, like, I guess because obviously we both kind of know who he is, and I think I'm just going to question, like, since we both understand his significance, like, okay, with everything that we just saw, like, what would he be doing here? Like, what is his, like, why now? Why would someone of his prominence just be showing up here?
And he'll make sure Yvain catches this as well. He says, well, listen, I do not know everything, but I know this. The champion of ravens he's not Vax'ildan any longer. Vax'ildan is present within him. Listen, I don't entirely understand exactly what it all means either, but I've read the information, and I've spoken to the priests, and they've explained it as such. So who you will be speaking to is a shadow of the hero you once knew as Vax'ildan.
Mm-hmm.
His appearance here is at the behest as a warrior angel to the Raven Queen to defeat the scourge of undeath. He is here to protect the balance of life and death, and these undead are abhorrent in the eyes of the Raven Queen, and they must have been a significant enough threat that she felt it worthy to send such a champion.
That makes sense. Yeah, given the volume that we've seen here. Yeah, and Yvain's like strolling up to him.
Yeah. All of you sort of get there together. He's sort of like looking out again. He hasn't turned his attention really to all of you. Alistair will like bend to a knee, as this is like, he's in the presence of he might as well be like in the presence of a saint, of his religion. So he kneels.
Do the same.
Oh, okay, you do the same. And he says, "Great champion of ravens, we thank you for your help in the combat earlier. It was a dangerous blow. to Tal'Dorei, and we seek communion with you, to seek your wisdom. You see Champion sort of turns, and without sort of unraveling his wings, and just sort of, at this point, the wings are gone, actually. The wings are just sort of draped down to a long cloak of raven feathers, and he just steps off the side, and he lands on the ground with ease. And he approaches, and he says, Alistair de Vitravos, Raven Queen watches your leadership of the Claret Order with great interest. It is seen favorably in her eyes. He says, you honor me, my champion. He sort of looks past and sort of just stares sort of blankly with his white, deathly eyes at the two of you. It doesn't say anything, but it's your moment.
May I ask a question? Oh, another one.
Very well.
The Archdruid. Does Archdruid have the same order as the Dawn Circle?
Oops. He says, this is not within my knowledge. However, the name has been spoken before by another mortal on this plane. He sort of looks at Alistair, and says, speak the name of your ally, Director. And Alistair says, yes, of course. He'll turn and look at all of you as I scramble through my information super quickly. He says, oh, fuck, where is it? Sorry, guys. Hang on. Almost there. Oh, here it is. Sorry, the thing isn't giving me all the information. It says, yes, I was going to actually bring it up. Camilla Spring Shower. He says, yes. I wonder, Director, why you haven't dispatched this corrupted one. It says, I've investigated Spring Shower Champion, and she is not of undeath, though she is affected by deeper dark magics. He sort of looks at Alistair and says, I bid you take these curious ones to meet your ally along the road to Amon. There is much to be learned, the dark things that happened today, and of Shadebarrow, and of the Archdruid of the Dawn Circle. He says, so I was right. He says, you bring them to Camilla. He says, I will, champion, I will.
As soon as he says Shadebarrow, Yvain will drop to kneel again and thank you, champion.
He nods. And he'll turn on his heel and begin to walk away. Is there anything else before he disappears?
I'll go after him real quick.
Okay, you take a step forward. Wait! Can I get your autograph on my armor?
Right. Sign my chest. No, I think right. I think I would just like approach him like very humbly and just kind of like I won't say like almost like fidget, like touch my holy symbol. But I feel like that would just be like inherent for like what I am encountering, and I think I would like fidget with it. And I would just like extend like my hand like to shake his, and I would just like kind of like not bow, but like, you know, kind of like not like look him in the eye, but like kind of like put my eyes down. And I will just say it has been an honor to fight beside you. Thank you for your help. And I'll just like want to stick my hand out and I'll shake his hand.
You stick your hand out, like, it's been an honor.
Yeah.
And the champion sort of looks over his shoulder and I'll tell you what. Maybe make a persuasion check. See if he'll shake your hand.
Oh,
We hope so. We hope so.
Right. Let's see here. If ever a moment I'd want to. Okay. All right. That's not so bad. 13.
13. He turns around and he brings forth a leather gloved hand, and he will shake yours.
Thank you. Thank you. I was like, walk away.
Like, scuttle back.
Yeah, basically like slunk into the background. Like
Evade can't fangirl.
Yeah, you scuttle back. And he says, may the matron guide you, and do not fear the darkness. And as he turns around, he begins to walk away once more. He's sort of shrouded by the cloak of raven feathers, and as he walks away, the wind almost seems to blow across his cape, and his form disappears into a couple of feathers that sort of wreath across the wind and vanish. He disappears into the ether as quick as he came. Alistair's like, that was so cool.
that was fucking awesome.
That was. You see, he tries to hold some composure, but he's like, that was probably the coolest moment of my life.
Same.
Well, I have received my objective from the Matron of Ravens. It's usually me giving the orders, but in this case, I'll have to make a divine exception. Will you come with me? There's someone I think you should meet. Apparently, yes. At least the champion thinks you should. Okay, good.
Alistair.
Yes.
It is my intention to see the Shade Barrow cleansed. And to see the Druid Circle outside of it either rededicated or properly decommissioned. If this is what you're on to, let me help. I have information.
Makes sense that the champion would pass along these objectives now, if you are so dedicated. It seems that the Raven Queen has had her eye on you if he was willing to pass along this information. Yes, you'll want to speak with Camellia. I haven't spoken much about her experience, but she is the only mortal I know of, living or dead, that has ever entered Shadebarrow and come out alive.
Oh, where is she?
Not far. I need to send a sending to be sure, but she wanders the dividing plane. The champion seemed to think that she would be on the road to Amon, so I will send a sending tomorrow and get her location and lead you all there. Chances are she's probably around the Ivywood thicket. That'll be where she usually likes to haunt.
As you will. Is you up with the others?
Nods. Is there anything that the rest of the group would like to talk or do while you're standing there? I think Radon will say, well, it's a good thing all of this got taken care of. I'll probably stay for some time and ensure that the caravans are made on their way and all of the undead are put to rest. I don't want any stragglers.
Understood.
So you think they're probably gone then, all of them?
The cleric thinks so. I have no reason to doubt him, but I think it pays to be thorough, is what I've learned.
It does indeed.
You are talking to the Raven Queen, or the Champion of Ravens right now.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Just want to give Zarvolg and Ember a chance to chat if they want.
All right, well, I guess next we find out who that skull belongs to.
I guess so. Well, I travel far and I travel fast, so maybe I'll see you on the road sometime.
Now we're headed from here to Oman. should be easy to catch up with if you're so inclined.
Well, thank you for the offer. You seem to get yourselves into some excitement. I'll consider, but I would prefer to wait for the forces of the Daxio Outriders to arrive and assess the situation. Make sure everything's settled here before I move on.
You were valuable in the fight.
As were you. And you'll kind of nod in a surly way and say, well, if you need to camp down for a while, you know where the caravans are for at least the next couple of days. And he'll, again, very surly, just sort of give you all like a curt nod and begin to walk away.
Zarvog will look up at Balthazar and say, doing all right up there, big fella.
It was a little closer to the tragedy than I prefer, but at least being this close and personal, that'll give me something exciting to write about. Perfect themes. Ravens, undeath, a graveyard. This is excellent content for my writing.
Can't wait to hear it.
You'll be the first to hear. And yeah, and you see Balthazar already sort of like, when you guys aren't talking, like for the next little while, you see him kind of like, Raven rhymes with Raven, and he's just kind of already beginning to plot your next great odyssey. And at this point, yeah, the party sort of rejoins together.
Right, so did he know whose skull that was?
You're muted. Okay. Oh, I don't know what you're saying. Your Zoom's on mute, if that's what the problem is. Okay, I understand. Okay, you can't talk. Got it. Oh, there you go. You're free. You're free.
Okay.
What's going on?
I have no idea what. Yeah, my mouse is being really, really stupid and it's pissing me off.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you just asked me something. I'm sorry.
No problem. I was just letting you know that you were muted. But you rejoined the party, so you could re-enter the dialogue if you wanted to.
I asked. Told you who the skull belongs
Hold on a second.
Alistair will say, the champion didn't know the skull belonged to, but he did task me with leading you to an associate of mine by the name of Camellia Springshower. She's I've heard the name of the Archdruid before through her, and chances are she can help us get to the bottom of this little mystery. It's related to Shadebarrow, that much I know.
Then
Zarvog kind of rolls his eyes. He's like, weren't we specifically told multiple times not to go to Shadebarrow?
we were told not to go to Shadebarrow. We were not told not to look for information about it.
Make no mistake, I have no intentions of leading you into Shadebarrow. Only a fool goes in there with hopes of living afterward. As I told you just now, Yvain, that Camellia is the only person since the corruption of Shadebarrow who's ever entered and lived, and she did it entirely by accident. From what she told me.
Promised the Graveseer we wouldn't go. But I said nothing about not learning about the place.
Information is power.
Exactly.
Weren't we also told that no one has ever come back alive?
You were probably told correctly.
Technically, no one's ever come back alive from the circle either, but we did.
From the where?
Outside of Shadebarrow, there's a druidic circle. The Dawn Circle druids were using it to protect either protect something from coming in, like a rift sort of energy, or something. Something bad was there. They were doing something to contain it. I think maybe. Nonetheless, there's a henge outside of Shadebarrow. We've been to it. We've not been inside the barrow itself, but that was our first encounter.
Shade Barrow has been of some minor interest to me. I specify in, well, the purging of undeath, particularly vampires. This is sort of my targets in the world. Shade Barrow has been something that is largely claimed to be over the heads of most. I would certainly have an interest in trying to make that not the case. But you are wisely advised to not go near Shade Barrow if all possible.
I'm certainly not going to break my word to the priestess, so...
Some might consider that a virtue, to not break your word.
But again... Yeah. Whenever you're ready, we can go and meet this individual.
Very well. Well, consider me a part of your party for the time being. I like to be orderly, so I won't be too much in the way. And, well, we'll see where the journey takes us. I will be sure to send my messages when I receive the correct spells in the morning.
What direction is this spring shower person?
In the direction of Amon.
Oh, that's convenient.
That is convenient.
Yes. Some precedents here, if you don't mind my saying. The Matron of Ravens has been smiling on this day. Or at least watching it, just not knowing a smile.
It's not the first time.
What do you mean?
It's not the first time she's watched us. And Yvain's kind of smiling about it. The first time was with Jasmine, the Wailing Banshee. It was actually Balthazar helped us find her, but you guys remember the raven in the woods, right? Everyone else saw the raven in the woods that crowed and then went off when Jasmine ascended, right? That wasn't just me.
He sort of looks at Balthazar, and Balthazar says, I have a song of the events, and I'll be happy to retell it. Oh, good. Well, that is, ravens are a sign. Perhaps she was smiling on you. If you did pass an undead onto the next plane without violence, breaking a curse on one, certainly worth admiration.
She was sad. That's all.
Most undead are, I find. Well, the Matron of Ravens is smiling on you, then perhaps there's much we can learn from one another. Very good.
So we make our way back to the camp.
Okay, yeah. You guys all make your way back to the caravan camp. No issue there. To where Radon will be and Balmhand will be. She sort of, you see all the caravanners sort of, oh, they pulled out like casks and drinks. Some of the caravanners have sort of parted ways with some of their goods that they're meaning to sell in celebration for the victory. Yeah, it's a little more happy, a great deal more happy, a great deal more lively around here. People are happy to be relieved of the burden of the monsters that were coming. And you guys can, like, I don't know, is there anything you wanted to do today? Do you want to just hang out and recover and get there in the morning, or is there anything specific you'd like to do?
I'll do another. Oh, go ahead.
I just had a question if there's anyone who did armor repair amongst the caravan.
Let's take a look. Yeah, there's someone here who does some blacksmithy work.
Oh.
I'm going to go nudge Zarvog and tell him to get his breastplate fixed.
Yeah, I'll approach that person.
All right. The individual in question, at the sound of your victory, is more than happy to provide repair. And he'll sort of hold on to your breastplate for the rest of the day and give it to you in the morning. Repaired. No charge.
Oh, very nice. All right.
The least I could do to thank such a brave hero. Doesn't it feel good to be loved by people?
Absolutely. One of my favorite feelings.
Amazing. Is there anything else from anyone?
Actually, Ember, do you know how to identify things the way they honor you? Or I mean, just do you know if I gave you something, could you make heads or tails of it?
I can puzzle onto it. I don't have any specific ability to divine a nature.
Oh. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, I haven't picked my spells for the day. If it's the morning, I could choose the identify spell and figure it out my damn self. I'm so sorry, sir.
It is not the morning, actually. You guys went and fought through the afternoon, but
Oh, then
tomorrow
never
morning you
mind.
can. Yeah.
I'll look at it
I don't
tomorrow
know.
morning then.
Dude, I don't think druids get identified, do they?
I'm about to find out. I'd have sworn that I've seen it, but I've got other characters. Tell me I've got identify.
Yeah, that's you.
I do not. Never mind. I don't know shit.
Okay. Um.
Mm.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no real check for this. This isn't like a known magic item, so to speak. So there wouldn't really be a check. But it looks magical, though.
You know what? I'm just going to try to attune to it and see what it feels like. And if it's awful, I'll just put it back in my bag.
Fair enough.
Right, what could go wrong?
All right.
If you can.
What could go wrong?
She actually said the words.
We're gods. What's the worst that could happen? You attune to the item. I admit I haven't made the item as of yet, but you will gain the following stuff. Some of it I'll text to you, some of it I'm happy to speak of here. Let's see. While it is on your person, you are always under the effect of Death Ward spell. But once the spell prevents you from dropping to 0 hit points, it ends until the next dawn. You also can cast Speak with Dead through this skull. However, rather than its sort of charges come from your hit dice. So rather than the regular casting, so I'll just read it to you. You can spend 2 or more hit dice to cast the Speak with Dead spell from it. This version of the spell allows you to cast ask the target only 1 question for every 2 hit dice you spend, up to a total of 5 questions. This can be used on the skull itself as well. The last piece of information I'm going to message you privately on the face of the book. Here we are. Almost done. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, attunement complete. I will give you the item in. I'll give you the item for next week, for sure. Anything else from anybody?
Not for me.
Okay. Fantastic.
After night falls and everybody should potentially be asleep, I'll do a dream visit.
Okay, you wait till the evening for a dream visit. That night, as everybody's having a hearty celebration. Oh, and you're all celebrated by Balmhand, by the way. Fiona Balmhand is very happy for your victory. Celebrates you guys. Music is played. Some people sort of, maybe there's some interest for Balthazar to tell another story. But I'll leave that up to you guys. Do you want to hear another Balthazar story?
Oh yeah, I never tire hearing Balthazar stories.
Yeah. Okay. He will say, all right, the one that you've all heard is the Nightmare of Westron, but I have a number of other stories. I have the follow-up tale known as the Demon of Slate Rock Tower. I have a tale called the Road Warriors, and I also have the Spirit of the Bramblewood. What would you all like to hear?
Well, since they got the first part, I think the Demon of Slate Rock Tower is appropriate.
And everyone goes, yeah, Slate Rock Tower, yeah, us too. And they all seem to agree. It's very well. I will tell the tale of the Demon of Slate Rock Tower. He takes out his lyre. In Slate Rock Tower, where magic weaves a tale of despair, a realm seer's reprieve, wizards of Westrun, a sage profound, faced a tome, a darkness unbound. Eskel Rindarian, with caution in his gaze, unveils the tome in an arcane daze. The magic mage's caution, not enough to thwart evil forces, unleashed a demonic art. Transmutative defenses twisted and curled, merged with the abyssal, a savage world. The tower once grand, now a maze of dread, monsters slipping through as the wizard bled. Countless days, a magical duel unfolds. Realm seer's will against the darkness holds. Monsters prowling with the maze concealed, a demonic entity with bloodlust still sealed. Aurora Concordant, brave and bold as like a cheer. Yeah! Storming the tower, a saga to be told. Through winding passages where minotaurs lie, axes raise high, and heroes come to die. Axes swing, heroes are gored, walls echo with a battle's discord. Against the minotaurs they stand and fight, in the insidious maze where shadows bite. At last, in the final chamber's gloom, the truth revealed the tower's doom. The Horned King, a dark entity, master of slayers, his name in infamy. The realm seer and party united as one, close the gate, but the battle is not yet done. Through the gateway, a more fiendish minotaur, a final challenge, a final demon to abhor. Swords clash, and spells ablaze, in the tower's heart a fierce maze. The Concordant stands against the abyss, defying the darkness in the name of bliss. The demon falls, a monstrous end. The tower saved, darkness on the mend. Realmseer Eskel, weary but alive, the Aurora Concordant, triumphant in their strive. And everyone, yep! They're so cool, we'll never forget them. And he takes his bow.
So glad
I give inspiration to myself. No, I'm kidding. Fantastic. Later that night, Zarvolk, you may proceed with what you were planning to do. You were going to dream to who, perhaps?
Oh yeah, I'm going to visit Sandra Kalos again, the mayor of Westrun.
Fair enough. When do you cast it? Like right at sleep time, basically?
You would usually try and wait until I think there's a good bet that someone living a civilized life is asleep.
Got it. So we'll say you wait till like third watch just to be safe.
Yeah.
And you pop up, you bear the Dream Cleaver. And you find a very deep, dark sleep. Not dark, but a very deep sleep is being had by a very tired uh, mayor of Westrun. And you sort of appear to her within her sort of black, dreamless sleep. What do you do? Or what do you shape to her?
Oh, so this will be just one scene. It'll be the same intersection of the Silvercut roadway and whatever the other one is. I always forget. Um, but the intersection that she recognized and that I'd shown to her was full of undead earlier. And I'll just say, the Aurora Concordant is victorious. The undead army is dispelled, and the travelers of Westrun uh, may proceed westward again without the threat of the undead horde.
Uh, Make a persuasion check. Such a grand victory is difficult to believe, even for ones as accomplished as you.
Oh no, I'm not good at persuasion. Oh, that's a 6.
A 6?
Yeah.
She says, truly, you spoke of a gnashing horde of undead. You've defeated them. How is this possible?
Well, we weren't able to face the entire army head on, obviously. Instead, there was a key to releasing them from their quest or whatever it was, and we were able to essentially end their determined march toward Westrun.
Well, I I'm amazed. This is good news, Zarvolg. Thank you very much for the update. I admit I have a hard time believing. No insult meant, but your group is very accomplished. But such a feat, it's hard to imagine possible. I hope you won't take offense that I will be sending some scouts, some of the shields of the plains to inspect the crossroads, just to be safe.
Certainly not, Mayor. Your caution's not going to do any harm. I simply meant to put you at greater ease.
Maybe another persuasion check.
2.
2. She goes, well, thank you very much for letting me know. Please, would you do me the favor of checking back in with me in, say, 2 weeks, a month, something like this, when it suits you, but with enough time that my scouts can check out the area?
Certainly, I'd be happy to. I'm sure we'll be well beyond the crossroads by then, but I will make a note, and I will be visiting you in the intermediate future.
Thank you very much, Sarvolg, and give my thanks and my regards to the rest of Concordant.
Happily, Mayor.
And the dream may come to an end if you so wish.
Yep.
Fantastic. I will say, Finch, for you, your Beverly, your squire, wants to hear every detail. She tries to like stay off your back, but she's like, "Oh yeah, let me get that for you." So, like, what happened? And just wants all the details.
I'll tell her, and I will try and like in that moment, because I know I'm not going to roleplay the whole thing. But I think in that moment I would try and like use it as like a lesson. So like talking about like I don't say meeting new friends, but kind of like I guess with like Radon and recognizing and like playing off of like compatriots' strengths and like recognizing that in other people and like just having like an open-mindedness in like terms of like when you are called to like the duty of battle with other people, like again like being mindful of others and like again like playing towards like one another's strengths. So I think like making mention of that, and then just trying to tie in maybe like some of the different like aspects of like the tenets of like my oath, understanding that like when the time comes, like she will like I think as like a teacher, it's important, it would be important for me to like not like indoctrinate her in like, you know, like you must follow the oath of the crown. Like it is, you know, taught to, I guess, like I would assume that it's taught like to paladins that like the oath that they choose to pursue like when the time comes is like a sacred one, and like there is no right or wrong answer. It all goes along with like what your beliefs are. So I feel like I would try and just more of like a like an overarching lesson in terms of like being honorable and like fighting for what is good and just, like with the understanding, like not like putting too much pressure on her, that like again, like with the tenets of my own oath, just like tying it back to like what it means to be like an honorable like fighter, I guess.
Fair enough. Make me either a persuasion or performance check. It is your choice.
All right, let's see here. I am going to do.
Speaking of which, Balthazar rolled very well on his persuasion or performance check.
I'm going to do a persuasion check because I have +5 to that.
Fair enough.
19 plus 5, so 24.
Yeah. Beverly eats up every word of your tale. You are able to emphasize the points of virtue and unity and valor to her. And you know, Finch, like you take being a knight very seriously. Like there are many like not to play down Lady Kima's contributions or skill or whatever, but she doesn't take it very seriously. And there's a lot of knights like that um, amongst the Platinum Dragon service and others, Arathis as well. But don't take like the title of knight very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But you do very clearly as you speak of morality and valor and loyalty and honor. And she eats up. And as much as you're not trying to sort of, like you say, indoctrinate her, you're not trying to force lessons upon her, trying to help her form her own opinions. You can tell, despite your attempts at objectivity, you're like her fucking hero. She thinks you're the coolest. In her eyes, you single-handedly slew an entire army of undead because Bahamut likes you because you do all these things that you say. Like she eats up every word, every lesson.
And as we wrap up, I'll just say, you know, go around and see if anyone else needs anything before we tuck in, and then, you know, make sure you go to bed and get a good night's sleep.
Oh, okay. Right away. Mr. Zarvog, are you sure you don't want me to brush your dog? And she goes running off to go talk to different members of the party.
Yeah.
Mr. Ember, can I help you with your spices?
Beverly, do not brush my dog.
Oh, okay. Are you? He's looking a little mad at. Are you sure?
That's how he's supposed to look. Leave him alone.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll find someone else to help. I think she spends a lot of time helping out Ember since he's the cook. So Ember, I think you got a little hand in the kitchen there. She's happy to help you sort of sort your ingredients. Yeah,
that's perfectly fine. One thing I don't have to do.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Every now and then, Yvain, I think Beverly's like, there's like a little like you're going through books. You're like such a booky person. She's not, but you know, curiosity and all. Like maybe every now and then you catch her sort of like looking over your shoulder. When you kind of catch her, you sort of see her seeing you. She kind of like goes back to what she was doing, realizing she might have been rude, staring over your shoulder. Um, but yeah, she's always around the camp. She's trying to help everybody out. Finch most of all. Finch is priority, but she's very friendly. And all of you, if there's nothing else, you may all head to bed. You all make it a long rest. You may all wake up the next morning with a with a knife in your heart. No, I can't. You guys wake up. Alistair is ready to go. His bag is packed. You know, very, very sort of mild-mannered individual, just sort of very nonchalantly is ready to go. I think he'll corner you, Ember, in the morning, maybe as you're making breakfast. You'll say, "It's Ember from as a, I believe, yes.
That's correct.
I listen, Warlock and all. I'm sure you are wary of the Claret Order.
With due concern.
I would ask you a very simple question, and that will determine our relationship for the future. Are you aware of the fate of Adam Volsk?
I have no idea. I met him once for a meal, and that was it.
Okay, I'll ask you above table, Ember. Does Ember truly believe that, like, there's no inkling of any sort of connection? They don't have any suspicions, or do they have their own suspicion, or does he have his own suspicions?
I think there's a 50-50 shot that it may have been one of Estrix or one of his guests, or it could be equally likely that it was the two fiendish brothers. I legitimately don't know.
Okay. If that's the case, I'm going to give you the option. You may make either a deception or persuasion check based on what you think is the most apt skill here that he'd be utilizing.
12 for persuasion.
12 for persuasion. He looks at you very keenly. He nods. He says, well, the life of a blood hunter is a dangerous one. My personal vested interests are in the undead. And there is amongst the Claret Order a faction that does specialize in warlocks. But I want you to know that we are not of the belief that all warlocks are evil. I do not believe it. Many of my own don't believe it. There are more intense individuals who might not believe this. But I just want you to know you have no danger of my faction while in my company.
It's okay.
That is all.
And just for clarity's sake, I have no intention of causing anyone harm beyond what is necessary. And if someone goes out of their way to do harm to me or the people I care about, well, wrath is hot.
I would expect nothing less. The world is a dangerous place, and only fools do not defend themselves.
But have some eggs.
Thank you. And he'll have some eggs. Fantastic. Morning comes, bags are packed, mounts are prepared, and Iman is before you. Alistair will say, my suspicions look correct. I believe... Sorry, I dropped my poisonous vial. Yes, my suspicions were correct. My associate has stationed herself near the Ivywood thicket. Or, excuse me, the Ivy Heart thicket. Not too far from here. So, it is on the way, just off the road. Maybe it'll add a day or two to the travel, if you still intend to go to Amon. But I expect it'll be well worth it for your interests, Yvain, Starborn.
Let's go.
Very well. And he'll turn and he'll walk. The road is long. Luckily, everyone's mounted. You will leave Radon behind. Fiona Balmhand will stay behind to sort of help clean up now that she's the only cleric around. It's good to have a cleric on hand where undead were a problem. She waves you all goodbye. I think she gives you like a little, as you're on the way out, Finch, I think she gives you like a little knowing smile and gives you a little wave and sort of touches her own amulet as if to say, like, may Arathis, like, guide you towards the lawful. Yeah, and you guys can all make your way down the road. And hey, it doesn't take long. As you guys are traveling down the road, only about 3 hours into the journey, and by the way, as far as weather goes, it's cloudy, still cloudy. You are confronted by a massive force of riders that you would recognize as the Daxio Outriders. You see a battalion of not only cavalier horsemen, but also infantry. There's a scattering. There's mages, there's infantry, there's horseback riders, but a sizable force of about 100 troops comes marching down the road. And you guys will be stopped by whoever considers themselves the commander here and says, "Halt, if you would, for a moment." And they will just sort of ask you about the Silver Cut Roadway. Says, "Did you come from the roadway? We were told that there was great danger along the path."
Yes.
No one speaks out. Oh, okay, there we go.
Yes, we did. And there was. But it is ameliorated for the time being.
Well, Alistair will say, I think my colleague means to say the problem has been resolved. And it was resolved. We were told there was some army of hundreds.
There was, and there's not anymore.
Well, this is grand news. Thank you for letting us know. But we must advance and see this for our own eyes.
Absolutely.
Stay safe on the roads. And you guys sort of get off the road while you see like a battalion of some 100 warriors go charging down the road. You see a couple of the horsemen sort of go riding off to scout the crossroads a couple hours ahead. And the Daxu Outriders make their way past the sort of military warriors of Tal'Dorei, who you have seen on the road before. You've seen the Daxu Outriders on patrol, but never in like full battalion formation. This is the first you've seen that.
Impressive.
Well,
I'm just glad that we're nowhere near where the burning bodies are going to be. They smell bad enough before you set them on fire.
Oh my god. Bless them for doing it, but I'm happy to not take part in the committing back to Earth or burning.
I think Alistair will say, "Yes, I remember when I had to do all of that. Is disgusting, really." There you go with you guys acquiring. Sinestro goes, "Who's this? Watch out, Starvog!" It's weird.
He's a priest. Leave him be.
A priest? Starvog, have you taken up religion?
He's not my priest. He's just a priest.
Oh, all right. You say so. I don't trust priests. They
That's
keep
fine.
away from me.
Yeah, that's fine. Just keep your distance from him then. Stay with me.
All right. Back to your glass blowing lessons, and he hits you in the back of the head with a small stick. He also will happily stay away from the strange man that you learned from. Maybe he'll talk to you about that at some point, Alistair, or Zarvolk. He'll be like, "Glass blowing? What's that about?"
Oh, I thought I ought to pick up a trade, and it seems like something that could be useful. We don't seems like something we would have to buy in town more often than not, so I figured if I could fashion some things myself, it might save us a gold piece here and there.
That's very reasonable of you. Are you one of these, hopefully I'll earn enough gold to settle down on the farm types?
That is yet to be seen. We're still kind of working through that portion. For now, it's all about fame and fortune. I guess I'll decide what to do with it once I've got it.
Can't argue with that. And very well, you will proceed. So you guys got 40-foot travel here. So you guys are doing yeah, you guys are going 30 miles now. So all right, so just so I'm keeping track, you guys kick undead ass. Now that was one day on the road, other than the Daxio Riders. Nothing during the day, no issues during the day. No issues during the evening either. You all get to rest well and good enough. I will say, Balthazar's hard at work on his on your guys' next song. But if ever during the travels you want to ask Balthazar to sing you a tune about your adventures, feel free to ask. But either way, you guys have a long rest again. Everyone can mark off. Oh, Ember's the king of rations, so never mind. I forgot all about that. So we're good there. And
I'm
yeah.
we have to continue to pay the teach the mentor.
Yes, that's right. Zarvolg and Yvain, you need to pay 2 gold to your mentors.
I
For
saw,
every
like,
day.
I know I've got the gold. I sort of figured at the end of the trip you would just tell us how much it was and we could deduct it in bulk.
Oh, that's what I have been doing. Have you not
Oh,
been
no, that's
keeping
fine.
track?
That's fine. That's
Have you
fine.
been keeping track?
I have been keeping track.
Okay.
So,
If you got, I'll just say do it day by day
all right.
for whatever reason. So 2 gold. All right. Another day. I have a second map that I use to track all of my NPCs and forces and stuff. So I'm moving your mini along there. I'll adjust it on Roll20 at the end of the session. Let's see. If anything happens today, nothing during the day, nothing during the evening. 2 more gold. Everything's fine. And again, feel free to stop if you ever need to do a little role play or anything at all.
Just for the sake of flavor and so that I remember when I watched this back. Um, so the way that Zervolk has learned to fight up until now is by watching and mimicking things that he's seen, etc. And he had practiced the interception prior to using it, and it worked out well. So he's encouraged by that, and is inspired by the haste that he was given and the number of attacks that he was able to fit into a small period of time. So he's working on increasing his attack efficiency.
Got it. Got it. No one here in the party can really tell you or help you in any way, but yeah, you're working on trying to swing a little faster, and you're sort of working to try and like, much like as I believe you've acquired the second wind ability, uh, you're trying to like use that little like, extra juice in a different way and try and make it like a burst of energy, and you're trying to like work on like surging forth in combat, and maybe there'll be some fruit to your labors soon enough. Day three. Day three goes by uneventfully as well. The roads are safe, it seems, as Daxio Outriders rode down, scared off anyone who would be willing to fuck with anybody, I guess. So day three goes by just fine. 2 more gold. We are on day 4 of travel. Day goes by fine. But that evening, I'm just gonna move you guys on the map so I'm keeping track. Zarvolg, my friend, you guys are walking past Iron Seat Ridge. I should tell you about this place because it's kind of cool. Just bear with me while I pull up my info. As you've been traveling the last couple days, let's see here. It's ooh, very cool. As you guys all sit at the base of the Iron Seat Ridge, maybe you find yourself on watch at one point, Zarvolg, and as you have traveled here and there on these quiet nights, you all hear, well, see, it's the first time tonight. I'm not going to like do it retroactively. You all hear as you sit around the fire this echo across the plain. You hear this howl come down from the mountain. Um, yeah. You hear this just on the wind, this crooked howl, the wind sort of, I can't really do it because my mic's sound suppression's on, but you hear this whistling howl, and on the wind there is some kind of cry that comes from it. And it's very unsettling. It's very much like some cry of some labored person creature coming from the mountain itself. And you look up at this giant, angular, crooked mountain that almost resembles a chair or a throne of some kind.
Is this something that I would have been familiar with?
Maybe a history check. You're local. This would not be the first time you've heard this sound, Zarval.
At advantage.
I'll give you advantage, yeah.
Good, because I got a 1 on the first one. Ha! And then a 3. Never mind. I don't know what it is.
I guess your life in Kaimal had its own level of interests that you didn't need to explore further. But you have heard these unsettling sounds since you were about a wee tot. But you never really knew what it was. You never heard many stories about it or avoided them. Maybe it scared you as a kid and you kind of avoided any information about it.
Yeah. I mean, at some point as we're riding, because I'm assuming the ridge will be in view for quite some time, Zarvo would just kind of, subtly ride past his emotional support druid and be like, "Those are the mountains where I slaved as a child."
Oh,
We should change that, yeah?
Change, change the past.
Change the future.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'll just keep riding. Nothing else to say about it for now. Just kind of want somebody else to be able to recognize that there's a lot of bad memories there for him.
absolutely. Fair enough. So I'll say that night, you guys come upon a group of travelers, caravanners, so to speak. And as you guys are like setting up camp as the sun's going down, they're kind of riding by. The caravan master will sort of approach your group and say, "Good evening. Apologies. I mean, no, you all seem like a rather capable lot. Would you mind if we all just set up camp together? So dangerous on the road. Be better. Numbers are better than not. And all. If not, I understand. Roads are dangerous. It's hard to trust strangers."
Can I do an insight check to see if I think this person seems genuine?
Certainly.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good roll finally. 22.
22. The guy seems genuine. Like you look over and you see what look to be like regularly equipped guards for a caravanner's travel. The people seem to be kind enough. It's not full of like grim, stocky looking individuals. There's women, there's a couple children, there's men too who don't look to be of the fighting sort. They look like traders, and the man seems genuine enough.
Well, the upside or the downside is whether they were trustworthy or not. The answer was going to be, yeah, sure, help yourselves, more the merrier.
Yeah, Sarvog, you're like, I don't know, like, people seem nice enough on the caravan, maybe. And then Ember just goes, yeah, of course, like, get a seat by the fire.
Let me
and
fix
yeah,
you some coffee.
Very true to form.
Yeah, so you're like, and yeah, you invite him over, but true enough, nothing untoward happens. They seem to genuinely be caravanners, and they sit around the campfire, they set up their caravans around you guys, and Certainly going to ward off most danger from the countryside. They sit around the fire. You hear once more that howl, that from Iron Seat Ridge, and some of the travelers sort of shake and oh, terrible news I've been hearing about Iron Seat Ridge these days. Someone will say like, "Oh, it's a good thing that we are all joined up together." You hear terrible things about how people have been taken from villages as of late up to the mountain by beasties and such.
Taken into the mountains by from the villages.
Oh yeah, that's the word. I mean, we haven't heard anyone who was a first-hand witness, but that's the tale on the trail. That's well, the howls and Iron Seat echo a little louder these days, and people have been disappearing from the villages, from Kymel too. They say, as far as Kymel.
So the Kymel and the mining villages in between Kymel and the seat of the mountains.
That's right.
Mm.
Very strange, very strange. But luckily, we all have one another. Keep yourself safe. The night goes on. You just learn that little tidbit of information that there seems to have been disappeared. Aside from the undead army, apparently word has traveled a little larger and further about disappearances around Kymel and the villages thereafter along the road. And it is worth pointing out, folks, that though it may not be featured on the map, and though I don't usually bring it up a lot, there are little like unmapped villages along the roads as you travel. So maybe you guys like stop here and there, and like maybe there's like an inn here and there. And I don't play into it too much because that's a lot of extra work. but note that there are lots of villages, little unmapped villages along the way of a couple hundred people.
If you've not been to Kaimal, there's a significant amount of treachery in different parts of the city. So, it wouldn't necessarily mean it wasn't something radiating from the city itself.
Oh, I see. I mean, we ain't never been to Kymel. We usually just do the trail from Amon to Western for goods. But we never usually stop off in Kymel. But, well, you hear things. A great place to go spend your earnings.
There is the gambling.
Oh, there's the gambling. And the night progresses, and all of you will get a long rest in the safety and comfort of some more individuals of civilization. Long rest is had. That was day 4. Moving on to day 5. They'll bid you goodbye and on their way. Nothing bad happens on day 5. Long rest, 2 gold. See how we're progressing on the trail. You get 2 at the end of the day, that was 5. So on the morning of day 6 that you're on now, Alistair looks at you all and says, "Well, it's time we head off road. We'll make our way past the throne of the Archot into the Ivy Hot thicket, and there we should find my friend."
Sounds pretty good at off-road, so we'll be all right.
All right, then. Yes, at which point travel becomes slightly more difficult, but Zarvolg, I'm sure, is no issue for you, my friend. Okay. Let's see here. Ooh. You guys begin to ride along. Alistair says, "Does anyone here know of the stories of the throne of the Archon?"
Is that a roll someone should
Sure,
make?
history, or religion. Balthazar says, "Well, of course, I am trained in such things after all." Yvain, what you got?
I haven't spent nearly as much time in the library as I should like. That would have been a 7, so.
7. Balthazar will speak up being, the storyteller, the historian and such, as that's where a lot of it comes from. Says, the throne of the Archard is a famous gathering places for the nomadic centaurs of the dividing plains. Um, they say that they were first born when the Archart showed mercy to a tribe of elven horse riders that gave their lives in service to the god during the calamity. It's also said to be the site in which the Ruiner and let's see here. They also say it is the site that some orcs believe that this is the site in which they were created as well, but religious lore tells that the Archart and the Ruiner had a great battle here, which is where the throne of the Archart gets its name.
Sorry, the Ruiner and the who?
The Ruiner and the Archart.
Oh.
The Archart is the god of elves and magic and creativity, and is well regarded by many elves. You'd be hard done by to find an elf that doesn't know at least who the Archart is, if not worship him outright. He's the patron of them. Well, most of them, anyway. I mean, of course, no offense at all, Yvain, to your people, or half of your people.
I All right, sure.
Well, the Archart doesn't recognize usually the Drow people, and I know that you are half Drow, yes?
Yeah. To be honest, yes, I am. It's just we're not really very religious in Terra,
Oh,
so I'm just sort of learning. I don't know who worships who, really.
that's quite all right. I'd be happy to tell you some, but I think our local priest might know more than even I do. I
Yeah,
know the stories. I think Alistair might know the religion better.
I feel like I need an education on a number of things, like just how to be and not draw so much attention to myself, and history, and religion, and everything that exists outside the mountains.
Well, if I might suggest, there's no better place to start than stories if you're looking for how the world is and how the world acts.
Yeah.
It's a rather fine sight, though. They say the centaurs meet once every 10 years in a ceremony known as herdsmeet, and some even come to herdsmeet to pay homage to the centaurs and to the Archart himself, and thanks for spilling the blood of the. Sorry, I'm getting my lore a little mixed up here. Um, he says many of the orcs call the rise the fist of the Ruiner, for they too were created in the image of their god, the Ruiner. And legends tell that the orcs and centaurs were both created at the rise in the aftermath of a battle between the Archart and the Ruiner. The orcs, with a deep appreciation for these ancient myths, come to Tal'Dorei to make the pilgrimage to Herdsmeet themselves. Some are considered to be longtime friends of the centaurs and pay homage to the Archart as well, in thanks for spilling the blood that created them. Other orcs join in with the Ravengers to lay siege to Herdsmeet, which is very awful, very unfortunate.
Yeah. They're stabby sons of bitches.
I think Herdsmeet's just around the corner, but it's not today. That would be quite a coincidence if we just happened to stumble upon a once in a 10-year ceremony at this exact moment. That'd be some fortune.
That would be fateful.
Alistair groans. He groans loudly. uh, and in like a sarcastic way, not like a legit like you guys are awful, but like a uh, you know. Um, but yeah. Um, and so you make your way south. Let's see if anything bad happens on the way. Hey, fun. Balthazar says, look, we're in luck. And you see, as you're making your way, you all look up to see indeed that which is the throne of the Arkheart on the side of Iron Seat Ridge. In the foothills, you see this, how do I describe it? It's almost like a grassy outlook. It's a little like Pride Rock in Lion King, you know, the big rock that sort of juts out. It's a little like that, except that, you know, it's not Pride Rock and it doesn't have like a big rock in the back, but it is like a sort of slant outward with a big grassy field, and a single tree. And you see sort of up upon the ledge there at what would be considered the site of the throne of the Arkheart, this site where two gods did war so very long ago. You see a herd of centaur sort of mingling up above.
Interesting. I've never seen them before. Oh, Eyes of the Eagle, that business.
You flip that bitch down. Make me a perception check at advantage.
24.
24. These centaur, they are all like very fit. There's the men, the women, they're all super muscular, very broad. They're all armed quite well. Very barbarian-esque. Hides, furs, leathers, axes, shields, bows. Very sort of rudimentarily equipped, but very well equipped. These are all warrior people, as far as you can tell. And they seem to just be, they're not fighting or anything right now, but they're just sort of mingling and talking. They seem to be in high spirits.
It seems like a jovial group.
Oh, so I suppose they were making a religious pilgrimage of sorts then.
So
it's good to
while
know that
everybody,
the long faces aren't because they're upset.
so I will say for you, Ember, while everybody else is having this like, whoa, look, it's like centaurs at the dividing planes and the throne of the Ark. This is crazy. Like everyone's having this cool once in a blue moon experience. You, Ember, and I'm just gonna hand this to you because of your background as a merchant of Amon. Um, the merchants of the great cities consider the centaurs to be something of a pest generally because as their herds travel along the roadways, they disrupt trade and maybe like 30 to 50% of the time when goods don't come into the city, it's because of a massive herd migration. So maybe you're having a little bit of a like, it's up to you entirely, of course, it's your character, but maybe you're having a little like, centaurs, whatever. You know?
Yeah, there's nothing worthwhile to see here.
Well, we're not actually going to the throne of the Archart. Historically, it's very interesting, and clearly I need to learn more things, but we were going to see Miss Spring Shower.
That's right. We're not far now. Only a day or more, I think. And he'll continue as the day goes on and you move past the beautiful sight of the throne of the Arkhart. You actually are going to be confronted by a little camp. You see sort of just at the edge of the thicket, you see a single little tiny fire, a tent made of what looks to be like blighted wood, like old rotted wood, just like a little, little stand-up tent. And you see sort of milling about the fire, uh, you see a strange creature that I don't think I would say probably any of you have ever confronted before. Very strange. You see this tall as Balthazar, woman. She is in a ragged green dress that only is about knee length. It's tattered, it's frayed, it's like greens and browns, it's patched. She does wear leather boots that look well worn. She's wearing sort of ripped tights. Um, Underneath it all, her hands are like, you don't know if they're black with dirt or mud or something else. She holds in her hand a staff of wood that has leather straps sort of holding it into almost like a crescent moon shape where a number of wilted flowers grow off of. And she has long, frizzy ginger hair that goes down past of her shoulders. She has cow-like ears that sort of droop out from underneath, and just like grayish white, pale skin and pupilless eyes. Her nose is also very uh, cow-like as well. And you see this very strange humanoid, very deathly looking humanoid up ahead. And you hear Alistair say, "Ah, seems like we made it ahead of schedule." And he kind of just waves over his head from afar. That's sort of awkward when you approach someone across a field and you're like staring at each other as you cross over a couple hundred feet. And she's sort of like, lets out a little wave. And he'll just invite you all to follow. You approach the camp, and the woman stands there, tall over top of all of you. And as you grow closer, yes, you see her very deathly appearance. Um, you heard from Alistair before, Yvain and Finch specifically, that she isn't undead, but in this moment, you're quite surprised that she's not. She just looks very aesthetically not alive, very undeathly. And he says, "Camellia, it is good to see you again. How have you been? Just oh, I'm just fine. Thank you, Alistair. The planes have been a little restless as of late, but everything is well, we couldn't ask for better weather." And he goes, "Right. Allow me," and it is a sunny day in fairness. And he says, "Well, allow me to introduce some of my friends who will be very interested to meet you. Everyone, this is Camellia Springshower. She's a furbolg and a druid of some skill. Camellia, this is the Aurora Concordant. I'm sure everyone will be happy to introduce themselves." And she says, "Oh, well, it's I might change your voice now. Now that I'm thinking of Caduceus Clay." No, I'm not. I like her voice. She goes, "Well, it's very nice to meet all of you. You all seem quite nice. I would love to. I wish I had some food to offer you. I'm sure the journey was a long one
Oh,
to get here."
food's on us. I have it handled.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you, sir. Um, well, excellent. And you guys all kind of like set up around her fire, maybe Ember with a little zest. You make her flame a little bit more intense, and you get to cooking, and she watches as you cook with zeal, and is very amused and looks around. And Alistair says, or she says, or yeah, she says, "So, Camellia, if you don't mind my asking." She says, "I'm not at all, Alistair. What can I do for you?" She says, "Well, my friends wanted to hear about your experience, how you've, well, come to be of the circle you are, if you understand my meaning. I hope I'm not being indelicate." He goes, "Oh, that makes perfect sense. I think I want to know too." He sort of looks around at you all and says, "You all, have any of you ever heard of Shadebarrow?" Alistair just kind of makes a broad gesture of like, take it away, whoever wants to.
Yes, we're familiar. We found ourselves there once in the druidic circle outside. We did not go inside, but we've been sort of chasing it down, trying to learn more about it ever since.
"Oh, I see." She's sort of like, not like Alistair being like, "Can you tell them about your experience?" That doesn't make her nervous. She's like, "Oh, okay, sure. Like, anyone would be interested." But then as you sort of speak of your curiosity and fascination with Shadebarrow, you see she sort of tightens up on the staff and looks a little more nervous and goes, "Oh, I see you're a scholar of the place, the tomb."
I don't know that I know enough to call myself a scholar. But I'm studying it, yes.
Oh. Um, Alistair goes, it's all right. Amelia goes, well, I could tell you of my experience. It's not much, I'm afraid, but I well, a long time ago, I was a part of a wonderful circle of druids, and with my mother and my father, and we made the sun flourish the flowers and grow, and um one day we were traveling across the dividing plains, and I happened to wander a little further from my family, and well, what I know now to be Shade Barrow, I happened to tumble into the depths. I wasn't watching my footing where I was going, and sort of wandered as I went, and I tumbled past and fell into Shade Barrow, into its depths. It's a terrible, horrible, accursed place. Uh, I ran. It was dark, ghastly, ghostly, undeathly creatures inside, and I ran for the lights, but as I did, this horrible spectre reached out from the walls and touched me with its ghastly fingers. And she sort of pulls back a portion of her strapped dress, and you see this like almost skeletal like handprint on her chest. And she says, "It came out of the wall and it touched me, and I haven't ever been the same since. I felt my blood run cold, and the flowers in my basket withered away. And I managed to get out. I managed to escape, but I never found my family again. And I've been wandering around ever since, just trying to help people. But well, I think I'll always be touched by that place now. I hope that maybe by helping wanderers and other people in the plains, it might help alleviate my soul of all of the shadows and darkness that has touched me since then. Well, my powers haven't been the same since. I've been really the only term I can think for is blighted. My powers, they grant me, well, the ability to shape some semblance of good in the world, but everything I touch withers. I am a very poor druid now, you see. And she reaches a hand out for a nearby tree to display, and as she touches it with her fingertips, the leaf immediately sort of goes black, withers, and dies. And she sort of glumly returns her hand to her staff.
Whoa, that's gnarly.
It's a different part of the same cycle.
Yes, I suppose you're right. But I did so like making things grow and life blooming. It was, well, not anymore, it seems. Maybe one day. But I'm afraid there's not much more to tell you. I wish I could be more specific about my experience inside the barrow, but other than to say that there was all manner of specters and shades and terrors and ghosts and strange rooms, I don't know if I could be any more specific. It was a horrible time.
At any given time, like you said, you'd found undead. Is that the majority of the nastiness you found was undead, or was there anything fiendish or fey or anything other than undead? Not that undead isn't enough. I'm just.
Oh, I'm afraid to say I was not um uh well looking for that kind of thing. There could have been, for all I know, but I didn't have those kinds of magics prepared. I wasn't prepared at all for where I found myself. I don't usually prepare things like, well, didn't used to prepare things like detecting evil and good, or things to ward away those kinds of evils. Was never something I worried about. I always had Mama and Papa. But well, I'm a little more careful these days after what happened to me.
Of course.
Alistair sort of speaks up on her behalf and says, but I hope Camilla isn't downplaying her abilities, despite your condition and your what you would call a curse, Camellia. Her blighted magics are quite powerful. She's done many impressive things in front of me. I am She's a worthy druid as any other, I think. Like you say, it's all a cycle, and her cycle might be more towards my inkling and things, but still a very potent druid. And Camellia will say, "Well, you're very nice to say so, Alistair." Balthazar's like, dreadful.
Inspired.
Yes. Yes. He's loving it. He loves this. He's like, you might even see like a little twinkle in his eye. He's like, oh, wow, you're really horribly tragic, aren't you? But yeah, and Camellia says, "Well, I'm sorry if I haven't been a great help." Um, and Alistair says, "Well, the truth is, Camellia, um, I was going to suggest we had confronted an evil on the road related to what was her name? Octrude Vandra, was it Yvain?
Yes, Avandros.
Yes, Avandris. Does this name sound familiar to Camellia? He says, "Oh yes, of course I remember the Octrude, lovely woman. It was a part of my circle."
Um. So Avandros was also posthumously a wraith.
Oh no, really?
Yes, who had raised an army of undead just a few days back at the crossroads. Could you tell me a little bit about her? You know, before she turned wispy and angry, and did she have a lover or something? She was protecting her head.
She was the uh arc druid of our circle. I was told that she yes.
Which circle was that? I'm so sorry.
Well, we were the circle of the land. At our time, that's typically what our inclination was, but we resided um, across the plains and we traveled here and there as we went. And but she was lovely and she had a son and a daughter. And and I don't know, you never really talked about what happened to her husband, but he wasn't with us. I think everyone assumes that he either went to form his own circle or perhaps he died in the past. I do not I don't know, really.
Hmm.
Um, Alistair says, does the sun circle mean anything to you? She goes, no, I've never heard of a sun circle before.
Dawn circle.
Dawn circle, that was it. She goes, no, I've never heard of the dawn circle before. Sorry to say. Huh.
I have a
You
lead on
see,
that in Imon when we get there.
well, if I might, and I hope this isn't too distressing to you all, I'm sure we can somewhat scouter to our own designs when we get there. But, well, Champion of Ravens let us, or suggested we find you, Camellia. Is there any way that I might compel you and convince you, Concordance, to maybe we might travel some together and learn something more? Maybe there's something to be learned by having Camelia's presence.
By all means, you're more than welcome to join us.
Absolutely.
Oh, I would feel oh strange traveling with you all. Are you?
It would
I
be
touched
nice to have
everything.
another druid around.
Oh, you're a
And you
druid
won't
too.
and
Yeah.
you won't have to cook.
That is also nice. It's hard to cook when you can't touch things very often.
Have you ever considered gloves?
Um, I mean, no, not really. I don't know
Well,
how to make gloves.
we'll have to see about that.
He smiles at you, Ember. brightly. Balthazar says, if you don't mind my input, I think she would make a excellent inspiration to what we're trying to accomplish here, which is to make very tragic, beautiful legends. Yes.
And also to help people and, maybe purge the earth of nastiness and such.
Well, that's your job, isn't it, Yvain? My job is to document it.
Fair enough.
She goes, oh, if you're quite sure, I would hate to be a bother.
No bother whatsoever.
Okay. I don't think I've ever been in a city before. You said you were going to Amon?
Indeed, we are.
Oh, goodness.
Two of us are actually raised there, so we would be happy to show you our home.
Is Amon more like Western or is it more like Stilben?
I don't know. Jesus.
No, I'm asking Ember or Finch since they're from there and have been to Western and could compare.
If I may, the comparison between Stilben and Western is the comparison that you can make between Western and Amon.
Yeah.
So, like, they've got an academy and a grand. Okay, so I know they've got an academy, but it's like as good as West Hall Academy.
If you have the resources, inspiration, and desire, I feel it's safe to say that anything that you want to find can be found in Amon.
Speaking of which, there's some. All right, so there's some things I need to do when I get to Amon, and I need help. So, how are we going to get a hold of this Allura Visorin? Like, I don't like. I'm sure. Do we just go up? Do they have like a branch? You just go up to the Arcana Panisophical and be like, knock knock. Hey, is Allura in? Like, it seemed like we need to know someone who knows someone who knows someone else. Do they have a clerk? Like, how do we start this?
I am not personally sure, but I'm certain that with the letter of introduction that we've been given, it should be a relatively simple process.
Right, but we have to have someone to give the letter to.
We can find someone.
There is a library there. Like the Cobalt Soul has a library, so I suppose I could check in and find out if they know anyone at the Arcana Panisophical that I could.
And I'm certain in the government quarter, which I'm not very familiar with. I'm certain that we can get directions and instructions there. I can't imagine that it would be terribly difficult. We could perhaps ask with the League of Miracles. They have a very strong presence there in Amon.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. They probably know each other, being all wizards and stuff.
Balthazar will say, I mean, if you're looking to use the influence of the League of Miracles, you can always try and reach out to Honor. She is a spellwright. She's one of the leaders of the entire faction.
Yeah. She's so busy. She's so busy all the time. I would never want to disturb her. Wait, isn't this Allura person on the Tal'Dorei Council? Where do they hang out?
I was going to make mention.
Finch and Ember, you can make history checks if you wanna. If you want a little information packet on Allura Visorin's position in the city and how one might contact her.
I would assume that I would probably have that knowledge, but okay.
22.
Very nice.
Let's see here.
Can't we just ask Kima?
Yeah, right. 18.
18. Well, Finch, yes, you have a pretty decent personal contact to get in touch with Allura, which is her wife,
Right.
your mentor. So if you can track down Lady Kima, she might be the in that you're looking for to just help pass along your information to her, and that's that. I think that would be your most forward thought, Finch. But for you, Ember, who's been there longer, you or not longer, but anyway, you know, and I'm gonna go open up my information and make sure I'm giving you the exact right information. She does indeed sit on the Tal'Dorei Council. Uh,
Eskel had told us that, which is how we Vane knew.
Yeah, she does sit on the Tal'Dorei Council. She is considered the Master of Arcana there. She is a public member of the Arcana Panasophical, but it is a very secretive group. They do have like meeting halls and such, but they're very like hidden. Like you won't like nobody can like point you down the street to the Arcana Panasophical. They're a very secretive organization. But yeah, getting in touch, whether you have a writ or not, can be a little tricky because she's so damn busy, right? And a lot of people, not necessarily adventurers, have such a recommendation as you have, which is an exemplary one. But if you could find a way to get it onto her desk, that would probably seal the deal. I think Balthazar will contribute and say, well, if I may, nothing gets the attention of, oh, and that's the last thing I'll put in there for your checks, Finch and Ember. Other than the Master of Defense, who is a paladin of Bahamut, Finch. So those two members of the Tal'Dorei Council are very big about hiring adventurers and adventuring parties. They're like the foremost members of the Tal'Dorei Council who like to hire adventurers. So Balthazar will contribute. You say, well, even if your recommendation gets put in and gets put on hold, nothing gets the attention of such people as success. I can tell stories in the taverns, and more than that, maybe you can get up to a little local work and get the buzz out, you know? Maybe that's a good way to wrangle in some attention.
Certainly did get us noticed Western roll over there.
Hey, actually, I had another question, and this is what the third thing I was going to bring up. So, I was doing some work with the Cobalt Reserve, being a librarian and all. So anyway, when I mentioned I was on my way to Imon, the archivist sent me to find someone who is in Imon, and he said something curious to me. What he said was that it was going to be hard to find her because she doesn't want to be found, but that I should look in high-class places. So, you remember how we went to that salon with Lord Estrix, and we walked in and they introduced us?
Uh-huh.
Do they have those sorts of things in Amon where the Aurora Concordant could be introduced as the Aurora Concordant, and then high-class people would hear, oh, those fuckers are in town?
Would that be the Cloud Top district in Amon?
Sorry, what was the question?
So I guess with my knowledge, I know there's different districts within Amon, right? There's the Cloud Top district.
Yeah.
Elaine is asking how to get. She's asking how to get invited to a posh party.
You know somebody.
How to get invited to
Finch is
high society.
A paladin whose family are paladins. That's as posh and high class as you get.
Yeah, I would say, Finch, you probably of everybody here would, you probably have to beseech your family for such an invitation, but you would probably be the best off to try and secure something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I can. Once we get there, I can speak to my father, and I can see what can be arranged. Especially if I can't get a hold of Kima, because it will depend on if she is present in the city or not, and if I can then access Alora. So there's options.
Well, it sounds like we should get to Oman and have a fancy party held. Maybe we can knock two birds out with one stone.
Springwater says, that's a funny term. I've never heard that before. And with that, as Yvain's like, next stop, Iman, the city of fellowship. That is where we will close the curtain and end the session for the day.
Friendship and magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yvain's just like we left out of Western in such a